All right, so we get praise, esteem. Joanne, hush, hush. We give praise, esteem, and honor to Abba and Shamayim in the name of Yahushua HaMashiach. And pick us up in John chapter 5, verse 39. Search the scriptures, for in them you think you have eternal life, and they are they which testify of me. And you will not come to me that you might have life. I receive not honor from men, but I know you, which have not the love of Alahym in you. I come in my Abba's name, and you receive me not. If another shall come in his own name, him you will receive. How can you believe which receive honor one from another, and not the honor that comes from Alahym only? Do not think that I will accuse you to Abba. There's one that accused you, even Moses, in whom you trust. Had you believed Moses, you would have believed me, for he wrote of me. But if you believe not his writings, how should you believe my words? Hallelujah for Yahushua. Praise be to Abba in the name of Yahushua for the word. Hebrews 5. Hey. No. That's not, we're not doing it. Hebrews 5:1. For every high priest taken from among men is ordained for men and things to Alahym, that they may offer both gifts and sacrifices for sins. Who can have compassion on the ignorant and on them that are out of the way? For he that himself also is compassed with infirmity. And by reason hereof he ought, as for the people, so also for himself, to offer for sins. No man take this honor unto himself, but he that is called of Alahym, as Aaron. So also Hamashiach esteemed not himself to be made a high priest, but he that said unto him, you are my son, today have I begotten you. Yes, he say in another, you a priest forever after the order of Melchizedek, who in the days of his flesh, when he offered up prayers and supplications with strong crying and tears unto him that was able to save him from death, and was heard, and that he feared. And though he were a son, yet he learned obedience by the things which he suffered. And being made perfect, he became the author of eternal salvation unto all them that obey him. Called of Alahym, a high priest after the order of Melchizedek. I want to deal with this part when he said, and he offered up, shalom, Brother Robert, strong tears and supplications that he heard, that he feared. So we're going to run back something from last night one more time and then slide that in more specifically. Go on to Zechariah 12:7.
Sit up. Sit up.
So Yahuwah also shall save the tent of Yehuda first, that the esteem of the house of David and the esteem of the inhabitants of Jerusalem do not magnify against Yehuda. And that day shall Yahuwah defend the inhabitants of Jerusalem, and he that is feeble among them at that day shall be as David, and the house of David as Alahym.
Now, why is that important that he said that he'll be as David? What does that mean? He said the weak among them will be as David. So what does that mean? Read the verse again, sis. So, because he didn't catch it, and then I can ask the question.
Zechariah 12:8. In that day shall Yahuwah defend the inhabitants of Jerusalem, and he that is feeble among them at that day shall be as David.
Now he said those that are feeble amongst them in that day will be as David. So what does that mean, be as David? How do you quantify that?
I would say how he was when he fast and stuff for the baby and his baby.
Oh, not in that instance.
I was gonna say, there was a time where I think David
Shalom, Jay.
David got weary.
When he said as David, it's not necessarily talking about a situation that David was in, kind of man that David is. 1 Samuel 16:14. Yes. Adding all the extras. David is described as a what type of man? Besides that. But he's going to read it. 1 Samuel 16:14. Yeah, but no, I'm really referencing it's a particular passage how it describes David. So if he's weak in this instance, this passage we finna read in Samuel is going to give what we angling for, because I'm really just trying to be very specific. It's not that none y'all saying incorrect. We want to be, like we were mentioning last night with the people, laser specific.
They say, but the Ruach of Yahuwah departed from Saul, and the evil Ruach from Yahuwah troubled him. And Saul's servant said unto him, behold, now an evil Ruach from Alahym trouble you. Let our Lord now command his servants before you to seek out a man, a cunning player on a harp. And it shall come to pass when the evil Ruach from Alahym is upon you, that he shall play with his hand, and you shall be well.
Go ahead.
And Saul said unto his servants, provide me now a man that can play well, and bring to me. Then answered one of the servants and said, behold, I have seen a son of Jesse, the Bethlehemite, cunning and playing, and a mighty valiant man.
There it is. What type of man?
A mighty valiant man.
What type of man?
A mighty valiant man, and a man of war, a prudent in matter.
Paul, tell him what a mighty valiant man is. So in that day, this man who is weak will be turned into a mighty and valiant man, because he would be as David.
Mighty is
You need a
Gabor.
chair, man. I don't even think it's no more. It might be a chair in the dining room, I do.
Yeah, mighty is Gabor, that's strong,
Strong
mighty,
man.
Brave man,
Brave
mighty
man.
And the valiant is Hayil.
Strong man again. That's why I wanted us to be laser focused. So when you see that Zechariah 12, you look at the adjective that's used in Samuel and he described. Because what y'all was referencing would be more so if we want to take specific instances to prove that David was that type of man. That's just what the track we would take. Because that's going to take us down a road that we probably don't want to go down this afternoon. Because then we ain't going to never get back to Leviticus 16 like we need to. You know what I'm saying? But those were like, you know what I'm saying, when we want to, well, here's proof that he was a mighty, valiant man. And the reason why I'm focusing on that part is because you see it was separate from the man of war part. You know what I'm talking about? He didn't put that together and say they were one and the same. Shalom, Mr. Hutz. He didn't put them together and say they were one and the same. Because see, being a man of war, we could look at Yahushua being feeble and being a man of war, but fighting a different battle. You understand what I'm telling you? Matter of fact, let's talk about it. What it is, Ephesians 6 and 10. Then 2 Corinthians 5 and 4. I'll do it. Y'all follow what I'm talking about? Because like I say, what y'all were mentioning was like, here's an example of that. That's what we were looking for. Because first you have to be able to know how he's described. And you see this person actually gave a report that he's a Gabor, a brave man, a courageous man. So what's going to make him brave and courageous? This is why we're going back to look at this here. Because it said he was heard and that he feared. And through strong crying and supplication. If he's going through strong crying and supplications, as we discussed last night, that means he's weak. You know what I'm talking about? And in that weakened state, of course, you know, he was strengthened by the Melchizedek of Yahuwah. He saw strength from his God. That's why I tell you this here, man. You can listen to all these people on the internet. Why you don't? Let me put this here, right? By definition, what does vulnerability mean? To be in a weak state or to expose your weaknesses. I could care less what any woman on this earth talking about. Be vulnerable to me. Be vulnerable with God. Because how is she going to strengthen your weaknesses? All that you want to connect with somebody, how does that benefit you to do that? I don't care how she feel about it. How does that benefit you? Because you only expose weaknesses. And I'm talking about, when I say this here, shalom, brother Luke. When I say this here, man, I want you to understand what I'm saying. You only share weaknesses for one reason and one reason alone. And what would that reason be, Cedric? No, you share weaknesses so they can turn into strengths. The only other the only other reason you would expose a weakness, because you would be like Hezekiah, you wouldn't be thinking how this person gonna take this weakness and destroy you with it. So you only share weaknesses with somebody that can take that weakness and help you improve it to a strength. If the person you talking to can't do that, what are you sharing it for? You know what I'm saying? Like, what's the purpose of that? So she can feel included? So he can feel like your friend? That's stupid. You know what I'm talking about? That means you need to take that to the Lord. You know what I'm talking about? Hey, I'm weak because when the Lord did it, he didn't take it to Peter them. He didn't take it to them. He took that to Yahuwah, because what could Peter them do? See, it's different if a woman brings that to a man, because that's your job. You know what I'm talking about? It's your job to take her weaknesses and turn them into strengths. That is your job. Shalom, Sister Regina. That is your job. How long it took y'all before y'all kicked that nigga out last night, man? I put my money on 45 minutes. I'd be shocked if he went further than that. I'm not saying that to be rude. I don't ask a lot, like, why do you want a man to do that so badly? What benefit do you get from that? You got to ask yourself that question. If you want somebody to do something so badly, why do you want them to do it? And what benefit are you gaining for them to do that? I don't care about the stuff that Avenue, she gonna use it against you later. Who cares about all that? What's the rhyme, reason, and purpose? Because if I was weak on the bench press, and I tell you I'm weak, I don't want to tell somebody I'm weak on the bench press who can't help me add 10 pounds to my bench press. I just shared that with you. Can you help me with it? No, I really can't help you with it. But I just wanted you to share that with me because I just wanted to know that. Nigga, what? If I'm struggling with my flesh or I'm struggling with a situation in life, what is the purpose of me sharing it with somebody who can't give me no assistance? Share for the sake of sharing? I could have just kept that to myself. Do you know why I say that? Because when you talk about things that disturb you or you talk about things that make you sad on a regular basis, guess what you're going to be all the time? Because see, if you talk about Yahuwah all the time, you know what you should be? Joyful. But you see a lot of niggas who talk about Yahuwah all the time, and they got a lot of things, and joy ain't one of them. Now, you can do what you want to do. My point is what everything you should do should be done with intentionally. Like, what is the purpose of me doing this? Why am I doing this? What is the desired outcome that I'm going to get? If you feel like that's going to make you connect better with somebody, and that's why you want to do it, shoot, that's your business. Go ahead and connect forward, my nigga. Shoot, I don't give a damn. You just need to know why it is that you're doing what you're doing. Just don't be doing stuff because this is what people want you to do, because you know where you got an example at scripturally where that's going to get you in trouble at? You better know it. You better know it. Man lost his eyeball fooling with you. Where you at, sir?
Ephesians 6:2.
Running point.
Say, finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord and in the power of his might. Put on the whole armor of Alahym, that you may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood.
We wrestle what?
Not against flesh and blood.
That's what you see with Jacob, correct? He ain't wrestle with flesh and blood. See, Paul, I mentioned that for a reason. Go run to Genesis 32 and 28, because this leads to a Melchizedek explanation.
He said, your name shall be called no more Jacob, but Yasharal. For as a prince have you power with Alahym.
For as a who?
As a prince.
As a who?
As a prince.
You have who?
Power with Alahym. And with men that have prevailed.
Now, what is a prince? What word y'all think they use for prince right there, if you know the words for prince? Or if you know any Hebrew word for prince, it's sufficient. You don't know, LeJohn? You got
Hebrew role. I know it mean like chief or ruler though.
You don't know the Hebrew role. You ain't out here RG3 in it, is you?
I don't know nothing about that.
You know about it. That's why you said it. That's why he got fired. You seen that?
Red concert?
Yeah, they fired that boy for that croissant. Boy, that boy was. I don't know if it was for the croissant. That boy was in Paris with that croissant. His old lady like this here. She ain't do all that there. Nah, that's what people believe. He took the whole load.
He should have.
Some people believe he got fired right after it.
That was the last.
Disney said this the last straw. He said we family friendly over here. That's amazing. It's very ironic. That picture came out and he got fired days after. He hadn't even done anything. College football just started.
The executive probably say, hey man, do that over here. He probably like, no.
Shalom, brother Barber. He said, no, the way he had his mouth open on that croissant, I don't think he would have minded. And especially whoever cut his hair. He definitely didn't mind. Whoever cut his hair didn't love him. Well, that boy had his whole mouth open. Like that didn't look like that was his first time. He definitely wasn't singing Madonna. I can tell you that. He was not like a virgin. That was unfortunate. I mean, he said some pretty questionable things on there several times. You know what I'm saying?
Oh man.
Oh, you just viewed that, huh? Now you're disturbed. Give him the word for Prince. Listen.
This all one phrase is the Prince have you power. So that's Sarah. To contend, to have power, to contend with, to persevere, to exert oneself.
To contend, to have power. Why is that important? Hebrews 7 and 18. Now I told you with this Melchizedek conversation, we're gonna be in the Epistle Hebrews a lot. Because I told you, with the exception of chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3, chapter 4, chapter 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All speak to this man being a priest after the order of Melchizedek. No other epistle letter speaks to this man being a priest after the order of Melchizedek. It's not even mentioned in the Gospels. You know, we had a conversation today with somebody about Ezekiel 37, and you know what they tried to sell me? Y'all know it's in Ezekiel 37, right? I'm mentioning this because it's important based off what we discussing. Matter of fact, when you get to Hebrews 7, back them up to 14, matter of fact. You know what I'm saying? Do y'all know what's in Ezekiel 37? The valley of the dry bones. And you know what he tried to sell me? People waking up to their nationality. I said, boy, that bad dope you just sold, you trying to sell me. I don't want that. He said, man, you speaking against the scripture. I ain't speaking against nothing. Y'all niggas is trash. Slow Marvin. It's trash, man. That's not what this book talking about, man. There's a reason why I mentioned that. I believe it is Zechariah chapter 9. If you could read me Zechariah 9 and 7, if you would. We got Zechariah 9 and 7 we going to. We're in Hebrews 7 and 14. What else we got? Ephesians chapter 6. Zechariah 12 and 8. And of course, Leviticus 16, just have it on deck on general principle. Zechariah chapter 9 and verse 7.
And I will take away his blood out of his mouth and his abominations from between his teeth. But he that remain, even he, for our Alahym, he shall be as a governor in Yehuda.
Hold on, back it up. Listen to what he's telling you now. Bro, listen to what he's telling you now.
And I'll take away his blood out of his mouth and his abominations from between his teeth.
And what else?
But he that remains.
He that who?
He that remains.
What's going to happen?
Even he, for our Alahym, he shall be as a governor in Yehuda.
He say for our Alahym, he'll be a what?
As a governor in Yehuda.
Tell him what a governor is, man. Is it like Governor, what his name is? DeSantis? He that type of governor?
That's aloof, tame, docile, a friend, intimate, a chief.
A chief. You know that Cohen means what? Chief principal ruler. Priest king. Chief principal ruler. Go ahead.
And Ekron as a Jebusite. And I will encamp about my house because of the army, because of him that passed by, because of him that returned, and no oppressor shall pass through them anymore. For now have I seen with my eyes. Rejoice greatly, O daughter of Zion. Shout, O daughter of Jerusalem. Behold, your king come unto you. He is just and having salvation, lowly and riding upon an ass, and upon a colt the foal of an ass. And I will cut off the chariot from Ephraim and the horse from Jerusalem, and the battle bow shall be cut off.
Listen.
He shall speak shalom unto the heathen.
Speak what?
Shalom unto the heathen.
See, they was arguing about why Jesus said it, where you see Christ teaching a Gentile, and why and what he just said he would do.
Speak shalom unto the heathen.
He do what?
Speak shalom unto the heathen.
Isaiah 52 and 7. My God, today. Listen what he said.
How beautiful upon the mountains are the feet of him that bring good tidings, that publish shalom.
That publish what?
Shalom.
And what else?
That bring good tidings of good.
And what else?
That publish salvation.
What's happening, so?
That say unto Zion, your Alahym reigns.
If he speaking peace to the heathen, he doing what's right here in Isaiah, now isn't he? No New Testament needed. Back to Zechariah 9. That's why I told you, boy, I told them boys that did morning too. I don't say that out of no arrogance, boy. I say that out of natural fact to esteem to Yahuwah. You run up on me with that nonsense, boy, I'm gonna line you up. You know what I'm talking about? I'm talking about extra crispy too. No KFC. Go ahead.
And I will cut off the chariot from Ephraim and the horse from Jerusalem, and the battle bow shall be cut off. He shall speak shalom unto the heathen, and his dominion from sea to sea, and from the river to the ends of the earth. As for you also, by the blood of your covenant, I have sent forth your prisoners out of the pit.
Out of the where? He said by the blood of your what?
Your covenant.
By the blood of your what?
Your covenant.
I took you from where?
The prisoners under the pit.
Where there was no
water.
My God, today. Now, we're going to come back to Ezekiel 37 in a minute because it's still tying in to Melchizedek, because how does the Epistle of Hebrews describe the priesthood of Melchizedek in contrast to the priesthood of Aaron? Not a priesthood after a carnal commandment, but a priesthood after what? The power of endless life. That's why it's important. All this stuff we talking about is talking about that. And I told him that this morning, man. You know what I'm talking about? That boy said like Shady McCoy. Hey, boy, I just seen that clip today. Flipping through a short. That boy said, you know John Beeson? Crazy work. That John was funny because he meant it.
When you doing? I got a question. Zechariah 9, when he says shall speak shalom to the heathen, does that take place when Isaiah 2, when it says the other nations going to go to Jerusalem to get a law from the king?
Oh, it take place when he come out of that grave. Well, read Zechariah 9 so he can catch the entire context. I think you stop at verse 10.
Oh, yeah, verse 11. No.
Yeah, man. Just run verse 10.
Mm-hmm. And I'll cut off the chariot from Ephraim and the horse from Jerusalem, and the battle bow shall be cut off, and he shall speak shalom unto the heathen. And his dominion from sea to sea and from the river.
Now, number one, he say he gonna be peace to the heathen, his dominion from one end of the earth to the other. But listen to the thing he say after that.
As for you also by the blood of your covenant.
By the who?
The blood of your covenant.
Now we finna get Hebrews 9. What does Hebrews 9 tell you about the testament? It's of no force while the what?
Oh, asking that because they be like, when Christ was preaching to the Gentiles.
Yeah, and I know that, and we were talking about that this morning, and it's the aspect of you don't see him directly doing that.
Yeah.
Now, because Ducey, see, he said he was front to the lost sheep. I didn't get a chance to tell him that. Y'all know what's in Psalms 119, right?
That lost is destroy or perish.
To destroy or perish. So this ain't got nothing to do with lost nationality or all this other stuff that these goofy niggas be talking about. You know what I'm saying? I think it means destroy in the Greek, if my memory serves me correctly. So you're looking at a destroyed people. Why are they destroyed? Separated from your God. Now, why would he only go to them directly? Based off of the covenant made with Abraham and David that you see in that genealogy in Matthew chapter 1. But then when we know what that genealogy in Luke 3 that ties him into Adam, he has to allow access to these people. And you know why? Because he got to go to them first. And they had to reject it in order for that door to be opened up to everybody else. See, if they would have took it, they would have been good.
That's when the Romans 11 come in.
You see what I'm saying? You had to reject it. You know what I'm talking about? To a lot of people don't understand because you so fixated on Israel is that you don't understand Yahuwah is not an unjust God. For him to just say, because that's what he ended up saying. Yeah, they're going to be saved from sin and death, but they're going to be our slaves. I'm not talking about that. Who's focused on that? Let me tell y'all something, man. I told them that this morning, man, and I'm going to tell y'all the same. I ain't worried about no rulership, man. That's a light thing. Yahuwah to set us over somebody to rule them and give you a kingdom to rule in, bro, that is light. That's light. That's nothing. That is nothing. Setting up men to rule and dominate on earth is light. That ain't even nothing to be concerned with. I'm not worried about these people being no servant. I had to tell them niggas here, man, let me tell you something, man. A lot of niggas talking about these nations gonna serve us, this, that, then, and the third. Bro, you can't even rule over your hand to stop jerking your meat. You can't rule over your heart to stop telling lies. You can't rule over your eyes to stop being lustful. You can't rule over nothing, but you talking about ruling a kingdom. Sit your funky behind down somewhere, man. Until you can rule over the spirit that you got within you, you can't rule over nobody else. That man tells you, man, if you ain't got no control of your spirit, you like a city whose walls are thrown down. You can be easily overran. But you want authority over other people, but you can't stop jerking it? You always in the house playing penis in the puppet? You can't turn down vagina. You have sex with every woman you see? You always controlled by anger? You're blaspheme? You're malicious? You're spiteful? Don't nobody want to hear that? Oh, yeah. If you go outside, just leave the door open because if you close it, you're going to be locked out. Because he locked on his own. He locked on his own. Nah, if you know the code, you ain't going to be locked out of the house. But if you don't know the code, you're going to have to hit that bell. You know what I'm saying? No subscribe, no like, no comments, or nothing. Or sharing. He said, yeah, the revelation. Yeah, absolutely. Say all they want to make, let alone. That's true story. True story. And I'm going to tell you, because nobody wants to consider that. And I'm telling you that comes from carnal teaching. Because you so focused, we going to rule the kingdom. Boy, you ain't even going to be there. You know what I'm talking about? So you ain't even got to worry about ruling nothing because you ain't even going to be there. Because if you ain't got rule over your spirit, how God going to let you rule in his stead? You got to be ruling in the kingdom of your own mind and heart before you talk about ruling with God. You know, they got upset with me too when I told them, man, keeping God's commandments is easy. He said, no, it's not easy. I said, yeah, it is. It's real easy when that's what you want to do. I said, man, where are you in life? Same thing we were talking about last night. Where anything that you've committed to doing in life is very easy to do. It's very easy to do. Very easy to do. When it's not what you want to do, meaning you haven't fully committed to it. People don't have success in things because you're not fully committed to it. And then when you ain't fully committed to it, guess what you're not going to be? Consistent in your application in it. How do you seek to improve and become great or become good in something that you don't even consistently do on a regular basis because you ain't committed to the outcome because you actually don't believe that you can attain the result? If you believe that you can live forever and become a son of God, guess what you're going to do? But when you don't believe that, guess what you're going to do? Shoot, I can knock one of these hoes down. You know, my master delay is coming. Let me eat, drink, and beat the men and the maid servants. That's what you're going to do. You're going to say, my master has delayed his coming. My God, today. Run this Isaiah 49:6. Joseph got in here. But that answer your question?
And he said, it is a light thing that you should be my servant to raise up the tribes of Jacob, to restore the preserve the Yasharal.
Now he's telling you it's a light thing for him to send his son to do this. That's light. Deuteronomy 4:6, man. Brother Omar trade that in there. Oh, my God.
And he said, it is a light thing that you should be my servant to raise up the tribes of Jacob, to restore to preserve the Yasharal. I will also give you for a light to the Gentiles, that you may be my salvation unto the end of the earth.
Come on, Deuteronomy 4:6. Then back to Zechariah 9. And these niggas crazy out here. I hate it for a lot of them. A lot of these boys going to hell. And they ain't going to hell because I want them to go to hell or I think they're going to go to hell. They showing for a pattern, but you don't believe it, man. You going to hell, cuz. I know hell talk when I hear it. You know what I'm saying? I ain't going to necessarily be talking to them like, nigga, you going to hell. But I can hear in your conversation like, that boy, they're going to hell. I don't want to go to hell. I'm not gonna follow what he talking about. You know what I'm saying? Like straight up now. That's what I mean by that, man. It's not no instance where you just point out people, you going to hell. Like that CO told me at Lake Butler, welcome to hell. You would have seen that white woman, but she had one leg longer than the other. She definitely looked like somebody straight from Lake Butler, Florida. Stood in front of all us talking about, welcome to hell. And I was thinking in my mind, baby, if this hell, baby, I don't want to see what real hell look like. Oh, this just prison. Ain't no fire in here. Everybody conscious. Ain't nobody dead. I know what she meant. Because them people go out their way to make your life uncomfortable. Which is wild to me. As a CEO, is if you already know somebody's incarcerated, why would you make it your business to make their life uncomfortable? You know what I'm saying? Like, and then you wonder why them boys throw bombs on them. Y'all know what bombs are? Civic know what them bombs is. You know what it is to throw a bomb in a jailhouse?
It's like pee.
Yeah.
They let it sit for a minute.
Niggas let their urine sit. Niggas let their feces sit.
Yeah, that's strong.
And throw it on the CO.
Just open up that little trap.
Now it's a felony if you do that. Yeah, that's what they used to do. To let it stew in there too. Let it stew. You know why? For coming in there, messing with them people. I'm gonna tell you something, man. Be honest with you, man. Now you got some inmates who are just disciplinary problems, but for the most part, most of them boys react based off how them people be treating them. But other than that, if you treat them like men, them men not finna bother you. They might bother each other. You know what I'm talking about? He gonna bother you. It's the same way they say a shooting went down a couple weeks ago out east, and they say when the boy was walking up, they told a few people, "Hey man, y'all get from around here before we start shooting." You know what I'm saying? When people see you fool, they'll tell you no. They'll be like, "Hey, don't stab him. He good. You can stab the rest of them. Don't stab him." Niggas really do stuff like that. If they finna take off and the COs in there, yeah, don't stab Burston. He's straight. And dudes might do something to you if you did stab him. Because we told you not to mess with him. Do you know what I'm saying? He don't fool with us. But that cracker right there, yeah, you stab him in the neck. Man, I only mention that because men got to treat a man like a man, regardless of what his environment is, regardless of what he's done, he's still a man. Just because you don't agree with people's doctrine or their stance, don't mean you can disrespect them as a man. That's not how that works. You ask him for violence. Don't be shocked when you get it. Come on.
Deuteronomy 4:6. Keep for and do for this your wisdom and your understanding in the sight of the nations, which shall hear all these statutes and say, surely this great nation are wise and understanding people.
That's good. Come on back to Deuteronomy. Zechariah 9:11. One more time.
As for you also, by the blood of your covenant, I have sent forth your prisoners out of the pit wherein is no water. Turning you the stronghold, you prisoners of hope. Even today do I declare I will render double unto you.
Pause. He said, I'd bring you out of the pit where there was no what?
No water.
John 7:37.
In the last day, that great of the feast, Yahushua stood and cried, saying, if any man thirst, let him come unto me and drink. He that believe on me, as the scriptures have said,
out of his
belly
shall flow
rivers of living water. This spake he of the Ruach, which they that believe on him should receive.
Because Yahushua,
for the Ruach HaKadosh is not yet, because the Yahushua was not yet esteemed.
See, he was like, what is them waters? I said, it's the spirit. Because we were having a conversation, dudes thinking you getting the spirit by keeping the law. Yeah, you ain't got it. Because he said he had it. And if you said you got it like that, you ain't got it. Do you know what I'm talking about? You told a story. A hell of a story, too. And it might work if you were talking to somebody who ain't know no book. Shalom, amigo. You're talking to somebody who ain't know no book, but I know better than that. I know better than that. Why is that important? What did we just read in Zechariah? In the pit where there was no what? No water. That means it wasn't no life in there. It wasn't no life in there. Now, we talking about being feeble and strong and fighting, so you keep that water sentence in the back of your mind and swing back to Ephesians 6 and 10.
Is that one of the scriptures I know we mentioned the other day about somebody asked why the dead had resurrected?
That's one of them. That's one of them that can be used. It's a multitude. I can't recall if I used that one when I spoke to Cuz, but I know for certain that we showed him Isaiah 26, your dead men will live with my dead body. You know what I'm saying? That was the first one. And along with tying that back with the spirits, preaching to the spirits in prison and things of that sort, and with Job 28, you know what I'm talking about? But that was definitely can be used with that. You know what I mean? Because I tell you, man, like everybody not gonna agree with what you're talking about. You know, if everybody agreed with what we was on, we probably would have been over 1,000 subscribers 3-4 years ago. You know how many people unsubscribed from this? You know what I'm saying? Some people might be like, it's this brash delivery, but they really just don't agree with what we talking about. Because at the end of the day, it hit to the core, it's gonna sting you in your chest. Especially if your faith ain't right, or you don't have no, or if you want somebody to esteem in the fact that we're Israel and we're gonna take the kingdom. Because that's what my man's asked me. He's like, we say, what if they ask you, who are we in this book? I say, bro, everybody in here know we Israelites, but don't nobody care about that. That's y'all who care about that. It's hard for a lot of Israelites to understand that everybody don't care about that like that. Not like you do. Like we got to walk around with a badge of honor saying I'm an Israelite, or, you know, wearing t-shirts to say Deuteronomy 28 on it and all this whole other stuff you got going on. We don't have to do all of that. It's unnecessary. But they also have a hard time understanding that everybody who in the word is not engrossed in internet Hebrew Israelite culture, if you would, for like, because I don't like the term Hebrew Israelite personally. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of dumb to me. You know what I'm talking about? But that's just me. You know what I'm saying? But everybody's not immersed in that. Everybody's not online conversing with Israelites on Facebook and Instagram and TikTok. Everybody's not sitting around watching you dudes video, man. We really had a conversation with dudes trying to tell them, like, don't nobody know who you are. I told you that plenty of times. When you live in a bubble and everyone you're conversing with is on the same type of time you on, it causes confirmation bias where you think the whole world is on what you want. Like the whole world does not know who Charles Dowell is. Is there some people who know who he is? Of course. But if you was to go outside to the average everyday person and say, do you know who this preacher is? No, I ain't never heard of him. You showed him a picture of General Yohana? I ain't never heard of him. You showed him a picture of Nathaniel? I ain't IUIC, who is that? Oh, I think I seen some guys with purple t-shirts down by the such, but they don't know who they are. That's no disrespect to these men. I'm talking about in the grand scheme of life. Man, nobody know who the men are, man. Or care. Well, like I said, but if you're in a bubble of Israelites and Israelites is all you talk to, and Israelite content is all you consume, and Israelite issues is all you hear about, then you're going to know you're going to think that these people are well known because everyone in your social circle knows who these people are. Like, this is simple. This is not hard. It's not disrespect. It's just common sense. You know what I'm talking about? Do you know who any of these people is, Kalisha? And she's been in the word down there 10 years. I don't know who these people are. Doris, you know who these people are? Oh, you might, but see, you don't, and then you don't even know what organization that is. You just know it was Israelites on the corner yelling. Yeah, you just know that's the niggas standing on the corner yelling.
I just noticed the outfits. I'm like, I just crossed the street.
She said they looking like sliding the family stone. I'm gonna go the other way. See, maybe in New York City, but down here in the South, man, we don't know who them people is, man. We don't know who these people is, man. Indeed, nigga. Let me see what Pearl say. You say you tell them a lot of Gentiles likely. Yeah, probably so. I don't even spend time thinking about that type of stuff, to be honest with you. He definitely did, Omar, just on the tip of. I would tell them, like, man, shoot, man, you gotta, because they were talking about you don't lead with the law. Lead with the law for what? They need to have the law to be saved. I know you don't know God when you talk like that. The law can't save nobody. If it did, Adam would have never died. Can't save nobody. Yahuwah do the saving. See, and I say this here, right, and they did the same thing that people always do in these situations, is they try to make it seem like you telling people not to keep the law when nobody said that. You know what I'm talking about? It's the aspect is that it's what is in Romans 4. Do y'all recall off the top of your head what Paul wrote in Romans 4 as it pertains to the law? Abraham is mentioned in Romans 4. Do you recall the context of maybe the first half of that letter in that chapter? That's chapter 3. He ended with that. That's chapter 3. He said, do we make void the law through faith? God forbid. We establish the law. When you look in Romans 4, he's having a conversation about if it's of the law, then it's a debt and God owes you. You know what I'm saying? See, dudes want to push that law because they want Yahuwah to owe them. They don't want to owe Yahuwah. Because you owe Yahuwah. That time you saw Cinemax for the first time, and you went ahead and skinned it. When you caught that young girl when you was in the 9th grade and you didn't know what you were doing, and said, it's okay, I'm going to make you out a woman. And you finna be a man, you grown that day. You know what I'm talking about? You went in your mama purse and seen that dub. You look left and you look right, and you pulled it out and put it in your pocket. Yeah, when you were bowing down in front of that idol god, whether you knew it was an idol god or not, because that's the gods that your mama didn't worship. And now he presents you the gift of salvation, free of charge, no cost to you, no righteousness of your own. You don't want that, so it's got to be by the law. Because see, I'm righteous, God. You going to hell. You unbelieving, faithless bastard. Because you want him to owe you. And Yahuwah don't owe you nothing. Let that be known. You know what I'm talking about? Dudes had a hard time understanding something y'all already know. I say Yahuwah is above the law. Show me mercy in the law. Show it to me. Show me forgiveness in the law. Show it to me. Show me life in the law. Somebody open up and show me the passage where it's at. Show me the mercy if you murder somebody. That's why they couldn't understand when he said the law say eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth. He said, let it go. Because you're not a God, you stupid bastard. You ignoramus, you imbecile. You full-fledged miscreant. Like straight up and down, man, these niggas make me sick. This nigga make me sick. That's why I tell you, you know what I'm finna say. I hate all you niggas. Because you're not of God. Show me somebody get life and they say if you worship an idol God, where he said you can live. Show me where he said if you commit this sin, I'll forgive you. You're not going to find it. He said your what? Your blood be upon in adultery with a man's wife. Where's that? It ain't there. You know why? Because it was never intended for that. That's why Yahuwah ain't want Adam to touch it. But these niggas too simple in the brain to understand. And then when you tell them that, so you saying we ain't got to keep the law? And you know what you got to tell them? Thou sayest. Thou sayest. Because I never said that. That's what your heart came up with. Because reality, your inward man don't want to do it. And it's being pierced because you're going to have to put your trust in God and you don't want to do that. My God today. Ruth 8. That's right, East. It ain't there. It ain't there. That's right, Joseph. I didn't get a chance to tell them this today. That Ball Mall making all that? Ball Mall, you hanging out, boy? Let me tell you something, man. I done told you this before. A lot of people don't catch Paul's letter because they don't realize how nice Paul was with the word. Because I told him, I said, you think the Lord was walking around telling people to keep the Sabbath day? So you saying the Lord ain't keep the Sabbath? That's not what I said. I said, why would he need to tell the people, y'all need to keep the Sabbath? They already knew that. Why would he need it? Y'all better not eat no pork now. They already knew that. I said, you thought he was coming to bring them information they already had? I said, boy, that's why y'all boy can't get right with God. You really think that Yahushua came to teach you the law? If you believe that, you have been grossly misinformed. I'm not going to call you stupid. I'm going to say you've been grossly misinformed. Someone has grossly misinformed you on what this man came to do. How's it a revelation to give you what you already got? You already had that. He brought you information that you knew not. So that's why Peter said Acts 10. That's exactly why he said it. Read me Romans 16 and 25, man. Then we go back to Ephesians 6 and 10.
Now to him that is of power to establish you according to my gospel and the preaching of Yahushua HaMashiach.
The preaching of who?
Of Yahushua HaMashiach.
Which was?
According to the revelation of the mystery.
According to the what?
Revelation of the mystery.
That means they didn't have that. Go ahead.
Which was kept secret since the world began.
Kept what?
Kept secret since the world began.
What your law say about that which is secret in Deuteronomy 29? Y'all know what it say? Secret things belong to Yahuwah. But the things in this law, he's revealed to us and our children. That's Deuteronomy 29 and 29. Come on.
But now is made manifest by the scriptures and of the prophets, by the scriptures of the prophets, according to the commandment of the everlasting Alahym, made known to all nations for the obedience of faith.
My God. Oh, that's right. Them boys having a swing about understanding Romans 11. I won't be there for it. Maybe when we're done. No, like I say, my dog, man, say he been trying to get a debate for 2-3 years for somebody to debate him on Romans 9, 10, and 11. Won't nobody do it. Romans 9 and 10. He said nobody won't do it. You know what Romans 9 and 10 say? He's talking about Jacob and Esau and how he chose them. Dudes be debating everything, don't know nothing. Come on back to Ephesians, man.
Where's in verse 12?
Ephesians 6 and 12. All.
I say, for we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high. Wherefore take unto you the whole armor of Alahym, that you may be able to withstand in the evil day, and having done all to stand.
Pause. He talking about putting on the armor of God. What did David say about the armor? He had to prove it. He said, I can't wear this. I ain't proved it yet. See, when it was time for Mashiach to get ready to go into battle, he went into battle just like David did. I ain't proved this yet. I'm going to just take the slingshot. You know what I'm saying? I ain't going to take all this here because I ain't proved that I'm worthy of it yet. I haven't proved that I'm a mighty man. Now, realizing by him not taking it, he proved he was a mighty man. He proved he was a valiant man. He proved that he was a mighty man of war, of valor, and of honor. You know what I'm saying? See, a lot of these boys, they ain't got no valor, they ain't got no honor. These boys just be talking, man. These boys just be talking. And people's lives at risk behind it. 2 Corinthians 5, man. You can make it verse 1. Ain't gonna hurt nobody. Ain't that what the song say? Ain't gonna hurt nobody. Get on down. You know about that? You don't know about Kid and Play. I bet you try to do the dance, though. That's what you should have did for your first dance. And then say, come out here and dance. He said, I don't dance. He said, all I do is this. Which would stand there and look at you. I don't know why people, when you tell them, they be thinking you're playing. You know what I'm talking about? They be like, oh, he's going to dance. Don't worry about it. Now you're looking stupid because here you are asking for a dance and I ain't moving. Now you mad at me like I didn't tell you this on the jump street. I ain't talking about up to my period. Like this here, I ain't doing. I don't believe in none of that stuff. That was what a homegirl said. You can't let Sydney see it. Man, that nigga saw her yesterday. Probably saw her this morning. Now y'all situation different. That gonna be real funny when people get married and be like, you can't see the bride and you've been knocking her down for the last 3 years. You know what I'm talking about? Y'all live together. What the hell you mean? I done already seen her. I know her in the biblical sense. Me seeing her walking down, me seeing her walk down before she get to this aisle ain't meaning nothing. If it wasn't no bad luck when we were doing that there, boy, ain't gonna be no bad luck today. I tell you that. You said that to another nigga. I'd be like, this how I walk right in. You ain't supposed to see me. Oh, I saw you last night. Hell you talking about? You know what I'm talking about? Saw you yesterday. Talking about I can't see you right now. I done seen you in the bathroom, doodling, pouring up every doggone thing. Menstrual cramps and everything. You talking about don't let me see you today. Man, you better get that old bad. See, I'll probably leave you right then. So now you're going to be around here, walk over a crack, break your mama's back, all the other type of shit. Don't split poles. I ain't got time for that. Superstitious nigga here. No, I would admit that. But I think always funny to me when I got there, her friend said that. And I was like, that's always funny to me when people say that. Because usually you already, you know what I'm saying? You already. You know? It's not like them, they ain't live together. You know what I'm talking about? Niggas.
Abortion was in pre-18 century. So basically, the father would hide the bride. So the groom won't see the bride. Mm-hmm. If he see the bride, he might not find her attractive.
She might be ugly. He'd be like, no. So y'all should be offended. He just said where the origin came from. Y'all should be offended. They be like, oh, don't let him see me. Oh, so you ugly then.
Because you can use a promise like David.
That's wild.
Like David and Saul.
Niggas promised niggas they daughter. Nigga
Oh,
ain't even seen them before.
Ain't even seen them before. Certainly did. Definitely promised somebody their daughter when she was 4. Now she 21. She look like Brunhilde. She big back Betty. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You like this here. I don't know about this one here, Daddy. I'm gone.
Here comes the bride.
Here comes the bride. That ain't no bride. That's a rhinoceros.
That's an ogre.
That's an ogre. That's right.
Very well, ogre.
Yeah, now you running. That's wild. I ain't never even known that, man. Niggas say, because you ain't seen the bride and she might be ugly. That makes sense, because the aspect of you pick them, I pick them, we pick them. I told you, that's a new thing in the earth. Got that veil so you can't see.
That veil, yeah.
She pulled that veil back. She missing 3 teeth. The yellow. You know what I'm talking about?
Got wooden teeth.
She got warts on her nose. And you looking at your daddy like, damn, daddy. And you knew this. I thought you loved me.
Your daddy can't see.
The daddy can't see.
He owed him one. He owed him one. I owe you one, bro.
You could tell you was shocked, like you thought she was gonna be ugly, but she was coming to America.
Yeah.
In the first scene when they got married. Well, like she was fine, didn't she?
Because she's my queen too. That's what he was gonna say. But yeah, he thought that's what he was getting. That boy got a beast. Yeah, and he's saying you the beast. Amazing. Now it just be funny, all them doggone. But see that one there, all these customs, like I said, you do stuff and you don't know where this stuff come from, and you just doing it, and people look at you crazy because you don't want to do it. Like I didn't want to do that. You give me some cake, I give you some cake. Maybe cut the cake. Don't nobody feed me, man. Ain't nobody fed me since I was 3. I've been feeding myself for a long time. I'm good with that. I'm okay. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, she's like, y'all want to cut a slice? I'm like, man, we could just cut this. We can go
Put my slice on the plate. I don't want to be opening my. I don't want to go out like RG3.
Yeah, you want to take a picture by the cake?
No, you want me with my mouth gaped open while somebody trying to put something in it? No. I don't want that lasting memory. Now I got to look at this here. Look at this very questionable activity of mine. In a vulnerable state. Now I got to explain to my son, Daddy, why you look homoerotic? I don't know, son. God bless Brother Smoke. I don't know. That boy say Janet Jackson more like Freddie Jackson. That lady done passed away too. No, the lady from Friday who did that was the lady from Moesha. She done passed away a long time ago. Shoot, damn near everybody on Moesha Cass dead, damn near.
Frank dead.
Yeah, I think he just passed. I think he just passed. I'm not sure though. You might want to double check it. But Daddy.
Frank.
Yeah, a lot of them boys they passed away.
You both.
No, because I seen a video where they were talking about the Moesha curse. They were talking about the people who was on the show who were dead. I'm like, dang, why's it got to be a curse? Niggas just passed away.
He got oil a long time ago.
You know what I'm saying? They act like all the people died at the same time. You know what I'm saying? Like the dude who played Hakeem, that was dirty how he died. Yeah, but he did that junk just. He ain't had to go out like that. You know what I'm saying? Could have been better.
He could have went out on the sword.
Whoa. Space. But yeah, it's a lot of customs he do. Like that's why I mentioned that like this here, right? You see, most of the times they do a wedding, as an officiant always say, by the power invested in me. No man don't have no power to marry you and make you husband and wife. Only person got that power is Yahuwah and the people participating in it. Because I don't have power to make you husband and wife. You had that power when he asked you to be his wife and you agreed. That's who the power belonged with, the two people getting married, not me. You know what I'm talking about? But that's where this stuff comes. And I say that because that's where the underlying man worship of pastors and things of that stuff come from. You don't pick up on it. You pick up on it over time because you constantly hear certain things and it seeps into your subconscious to where you believe that this is reality and this is how things should be done. You know what I'm saying? And now you looking at this person in an elevated state where they don't belong. Because Yahuwah's supposed to be here. The preacher not supposed to be there. Why is the preacher here? He'll never need to be here. But people don't know how to make the difference of giving the man honor and respect and putting him on the pedestal. And really, that's the preacher's fault because he ain't supposed to let you. He ain't supposed to let you. You know what I'm saying? A lot of these dudes want to be put on a pedestal because nobody ever pedestalized them in life, so they're going to take advantage of it. And I guarantee you this here, boy, if you treat somebody like a star, they're going to treat you like a fan. Every single solitary time. Every time. Man or woman. It don't make no difference. You elevate somebody that high, and they're going to treat you like that. Yeah, I done heard people say that about the Ice Cube and the Friday Curse and all them people old. Pops was damn near 80 years old when he died. Chris Tucker's still out here. He overweight, but he's still here. Ice Cube, the only guy I ever seen, looked like he never gained weight, was just pudgy. From 1986 to this very day. Same body type of nothing. No muscle, no skinny, no obese. Just
shit built like that, though.
Nah, Cedric was big.
Cedric the Entertainer been sloppy for a long time.
He was saying Ice Cube ain't never been sloppy. He always been
The same. It's very rare to see somebody had the same body type for 30 years.
I get he said Cedric Taylor been sloppy.
Yeah, but that don't count. Now, you just already know, like, come on, cuz. The suit button about to pop. You don't want to lose no weight?
No, he said like
Yeah, 'cause
Steve
Cedric
Harvey.
didn't lose
Steve Harvey
weight.
was kind of like slender, kind of. Steve Harvey showed out that nigga fat.
He ain't even fat. He just old. He just got an old nigga body. You know what I'm talking about? With the Mr. Potato Head.
Then he got potato head, fake beard, fake mustache.
Now he's saying he got a weed mustache. We gonna keep on rolling on that. Where we at with it?
2 Corinthians 5:1.
Come on.
For we know that if our earthly house of this tabernacle were dissolved, we have a building of Alahym, a house not made with hands, eternal in Shamayim. For in this we groan earnestly, desiring to be clothed upon with our house which is from Shamayim. If so be that being clothed we shall not be found naked. For we that are in this tabernacle do groan, being burdened, not for that we should be unclothed, but clothed upon.
Listen.
That mortality might be swallowed up of life.
What?
Mortality might be swallowed up of life.
Listen to it.
Now he that brought us for the self same thing, who also have given unto us the earnest of the Ruach.
Listen.
Therefore, always confident, knowing that while we are at a home in the body, we are absent from the Lord.
Come on.
For we walk by faith, not by sight.
Listen.
We are confident and willing rather to be absent from the body and to be present with the Lord.
One more.
Wherefore we labor that whether present or absent, we may be accepted of him.
Go ahead.
For we all must appear before the judgment seat of
That's good.
Mashiach.
I'm in the wrong spot. You know we say the weapons of our warfare are not carnal. See, Yahushua didn't seek to be this valiant man who could cast out this evil spirit based off of nothing. Luke 22. Tell me what verse 39 say. Stank.
And he came out and went, as he was wont, to the Mount of Olives, and the disciples also followed him. And when he was at that place, he said unto them, pray that you enter not into temptation.
Why?
He was withdrawn from them about a stone's cast and kneeled down and prayed, saying, Abba, if you be willing, remove this cup from me. Nevertheless, not my will, but yours be done.
What else?
And there appeared a Malachim unto him from Shamayim, strengthening
At
him.
this particular point, he's feeble. But now he's going to be made as David, a valiant man, a mighty man of valor in a war. And that war is to be able to defeat death. Let's go to Ezekiel 37 because I mentioned it. Then we'll swing back to Leviticus 16. Hold on, what was that? Hebrews 7. That's all we got left. But Ezekiel 37:1. Y'all know the story.
The hand of Yahuwah was upon me and carried me out in the rock of Yahuwah and set me down in the midst of the valley, which was full of bones.
Full of what?
Full of bones.
Pause. What does Genesis 2 and 21 say? Flesh of my flesh? They supposed to peep the play, but they don't never peep the play. Go ahead.
It caused me to pass by them round about, and behold, very many in the open valley, and lo, very
Pause.
dry.
Very many in the open where?
In the open valley.
If you hear an open valley, what should come to your mind? The valley of decision. Because what would they do in what would they put in the valley? That was a waste area. That's what they would do with toss that in there.
What she said, the Valley of Hinnom?
Valley of Hinnom, the Valley of Tophet, the Valley of Gehenna, the Valley of Jehoshaphat, the Valley of Decision. Tell me what dried is, man. You like sun-dried tomatoes? You look like you eat tomatoes raw. You just look like you grab a tomato out of the refrigerator and eat it like an apple.
Dry is yabash. Dry or dried.
Dried. Shabash. Is that Sean Bot and hey?
Yad bot Sean, yeah.
Come on. Who making all that noise? That's Joanne?
And he said unto me, son of man, can these bones live?
Can these what?
Can these bones live?
Why is this important? Can these bones what?
Can these bones live?
Can these bones what?
Live.
You think it's really talking about you knowing you an Israelite? Can these bones what?
Live.
Go ahead.
And I answered, O Yahuwah Alahym, you know. Again he said unto me, prophesy upon these bones, saying to them, O you dry bones, hear the word of Yahuwah.
Oh, you what bones?
You dry bones.
What else?
Hear the word of Yahuwah. Thus saith Yahuwah Alahym unto these bones. Behold, I will cause breath to enter into you.
I cause what to enter into
breath
you?
to enter into
Cause
you.
what to enter into you?
Breath.
What happened in Genesis 2 and 7?
Reason I Adam.
They caused breath to enter into them and they were alive. No law needed. This showing you that the law don't give you no life, man. Adam didn't need no law to come alive. And Adam wouldn't have needed the law to live forever if he would have let him get from that tree. Ain't that what it said? Lest he take from this tree and do what? Live forever. My God, today. Come on. Go ahead.
And you shall live, and I will lay sinews upon you.
Y'all know what sinews is, right? That's tendons. What else?
And will bring up flesh upon you.
That's flesh and tissues.
And cover you with skin.
And cover you with what?
With skin.
My God.
And
today.
put breath in you, and you shall live.
Now, why is he talking about taking bones and putting flesh, skin, and tendons on them, and you think this is you waking up to your nationality? And this is the thing. It's not that a nigga told you that. It's why did you believe them? Why did you believe that? Luke 24 and 36. I gave them all this earlier. Like somebody told me, you preaching and not teaching scripture, please. I said, baby, I said, if you know the word, you supposed to know everything I just said came straight out the book. You wanted me to say John chapter 12, verse 19? I said, my God, today, boy, you ain't listening for the voice of the shepherd. They don't even be knowing what's in the book. Then they don't even know what preaching is. Preaching is not orating like you see them people do at church. Preaching is a core left. That's an arranger of sentences, baby. I'm putting it together like a jigsaw puzzle like this. Oh,
Bringing out the old and new. Old story in the
what you
mystery.
talking about? Yeah, like, what do you know now? I ain't no moray. I arrange sentences, baby. He said the preacher was wise. What he sought out, Cindy? Many proverbs. And set them in order that he might find acceptable words, even words of truth. Baby, know your job title. What you talking about, man? Disrespecting me. What that little boy said in Philly, man, don't disrespect me like that. The little nigga with the haircut, man. Remember the little dude in Philly had the George Jefferson? They pulled up on him on the corner. He said, don't disrespect me like that. You know what I'm saying? I tell him, don't disrespect me like that. I ain't these niggas that you used to. You know what I'm saying? You look like you like to listen to Lil Uzi Vert. We don't kick them type of rhymes. I don't know none of the music. I just seen somebody post a picture of him with some white pants on talking about, I know his testicles are about to burst. And I was like, what? I don't know. I'm not even looking at is his testicles about to burst. I'm wondering how he got in them pants. You know what I'm talking about? It's the same thing with that dude born from 1700. How did you get in them pants, cuz?
He had to jump in them.
Well, if you got to jump in and wiggle your cheeks, you living wrong. You got to do the Beyonce. She talking about, hey, boy, you living wrong. Any woman who got some yams know the struggle they got to do to get them jeans over them yams. And that's what you doing as a man. No, I only mentioned him because I seen a short. Boy, he was talking about some rapper they were beefing with. He said, yeah, he a pansexual, but they blocked it out because he was saying something else. He said, and Adam 22 just took a breath and said, yeah, I know the story. He said, yeah, he got raped by the preacher. He said, oh, no, he probably was a kid. He said he wasn't no damn kid. That nigga was in high school on the high school basketball team. He said he knew not to let that man touch him. He said, if that man would have touched my butt, I would have went to the church and killed him at the same church he touched me at. I said, boy, he ain't lying, boy. In high school, ain't no grown man got no business touch. Because they say the dude got a settlement from him, and he acting like he a hustler, but you got rich because the nigga played with your booty. And so the rapper dude is trying to insinuate you let him do that so you could get the payday. They sued. He said a lot of people got settlements in Chicago from this particular preacher. You know what I'm saying? But I know this here, boy. 14, 15, you talking about a teenager, 13 to 17 years old. Boy, nigga couldn't molest me. Ain't no way in the world nigga gonna molest me at that age. Oh, we in a box, cuz. Man, I remember hearing about Jerry Sandusky. Y'all know who Jerry Sandusky is? That's the pin. Man, I remember when that first came out, they were like, he was getting in the shower with them boys. And I'm talking about, but these boys like 8, 9, 10 years old. Now, I understand that's a child. But boy, I knew at 8, 9 years old, hold up, cuz, what you doing in here? I knew at 8 years old, ain't no grown man had no business in the shower with me butt naked. Much less coming talking about he finna touch me. Oh, we finna fight, cuz. We finna fight. Now, I'm not saying them little boys is wrong for getting taken advantage. I mean, you're still a child, 8, 9 years old. I'm speaking for me. Ain't nowhere in the world, and ain't no big old rusty, old, white, crinkled up white man getting in no shower. We talking about, hey, I was like, hold on, Mr. Sandusky. What we got going on in here? Why you got your penis in your hand? And I'm out of here. Shalom, Quran, man. Man, I'd have kicked that man in his groin so fast and told on him. But high school basketball, you like men, boy.
You a 14.
You like men.
You know what's going on.
You know what's going on. You knew this wasn't right. You knew it wasn't right. Them little boys who Eddie Long was getting, that joint was different because he groomed them boys. See, he got them boys young and then got them to a certain age and then sexually exploited them. You know what I'm saying? That's a different type of scenario. You got to watch men who like whether it's little boys or little girls. Like he keep little kids around him like that. I'm talking about around him and raising them up and them ain't his children. Y'all watch dudes like that. That's not normal. Interacting with kids is one thing. Having them like this here, yeah, y'all coming, you know what I'm saying? Eddie Long had them kids close to him. Why you got 9, 10-year-old boys? See, they try to get you with the mentor. See, that's why they like women to come into church. Shalom, Sister Kelly, who ain't got no husband. And they single mothers because then they can exploit the children. Because there's no barrier between the child, which would be the man. So they figure, yeah, the pastor, he's a role model. Sitting my kids with him the whole time. He like, yeah, boy, that's new booty. That's what them boy be on.
That's why we said about Mike, though. The same exact thing.
Yeah, Mike, but Wright is a rare anomaly. But I wouldn't have sent my child with it. I ain't sending my child with no nigga like that.
The same points was the points we was like, that nigga most likely probably did. Most grown men have young jits who growing up with their parents around him all the time.
Now, I will say this here. He wasn't grooming them to be his servants.
I don't know what he was grooming.
Well, I mean, based off, no, but I'm talking about based off of what they see. It's a lot of stuff that we hear that if you would have watched the trial and seen the evidence, that it wasn't really what they were putting on the news. Like he wasn't in the bed with them kids, and he wasn't giving them kids no wine and all this other stuff. That's what they were telling us on the news, but in the trial, it was something totally different, and people were lying on that man. And it came out that that's why he whooped them, because they were lying on that man. But who wants to sit there unless you a criminal justice major or you just like criminal trials? Who the hell finna sit and watch? That stuff boring. But yeah, it's the same thing with OJ case, man. If you looked at OJ case and you seen what they really had versus what they were talking about on TV, they ain't had nothing on that man. Nothing. You know what I'm saying? Not nothing substantial to where they spent all this money to prosecute him. And with Michael Jackson, they were just straight up lying on the man. You know what I'm saying? But at the same token, Mike put himself in the position to get lied on. You know what I'm saying? And that area of life, that nigga was naive. You know what I'm saying? And it almost cost him. Hell, it eventually did cost him because shoot, them crackers killed him. You know what I'm talking about? But Eddie Long like little boys. Ain't no doubt about it. I don't care if he dead or not. He like little boys. It's obvious. It's apparent. It's been proven. He was a little boy booty lover. That's why he gone. You know what I'm talking about? Because he got sick not too long after that. Lord said, I got something for you. I hope he got cancer in his butt. Meaning prostate cancer. I think he died from cancer. A lot of people thought he had AIDS. I just seen they said that's what Craig Mack died from. They said he had AIDS. He looked like he had AIDS. Because that nigga was looking bad. You know what I'm saying? That nigga was looking bad. They say that religious organization he was a part of taught them not to take medicine. He probably still be alive. Yeah, they said, yeah, man, can't take no medicine. That's the devil.
What he was on?
He was a part of some. He was a part of some religious organization in North Carolina somewhere, man. Hold on, let me find it. Because I think some people said that same dude is the help with Straightway, but I don't believe that's accurate. Because I think that dude, they say he came from Canada. Yeah, he was in South Carolina. Yeah, his wife came out there and acknowledged that he died from AIDS. But they told us he died from a heart attack when he first died. Man was only 47 years old.
They don't say, just saying aggressive form of cancer. I think he did have it.
He might have had prostate cancer.
They don't say what it is. It just says aggressive. Like they trying to keep him on the
Mm-hmm. I don't think they're gonna have. There it is. He was Brother Stair. He was a part of Overcomer Ministry, a secluded Christian commune that has been described as a cult, whose leader, Brother Stair, has been charged with various crimes, including assault and sexual conduct with a minor. They had a YouTube thing with Craig Mack testimony where he was in the middle of the church rapping about Christianity. But yeah, Brother Stair. Who is Brother Stair? He's dead off. He died in 2021. I saw it too, Sister Regina. It was. R.G. Stair is his name. He founded this in 1978 and declared himself to be a prophet. They say he got convictions for sexual abuse, allegations that he caused infant deaths. He's considered to be a conservative Pentecostal Christian organization. He started it with a radio-based ministry. He purchased a motel in 78 and encouraged his followers to the community to sell all their possessions and take a vow of poverty and donate all that they own to Overcomer Ministry. And it was about 70 of them striving for self-sufficiency and simplicity, growing their own food and making their own clothes. And they lived in mobile homes and handmade houses and ate communal meals, gathering for Saturday worship at the tabernacle. The women wore long skirts, the men wore long pants and shirt with collars. Work was divided by traditional gender lines, men performing farm manual labor, women doing domestic chores, and they relied on bicycles for transportation. He objected to medical, say it sound like Jim Jones. Yeah, he do. He said he objected to medical intervention and taught avoidance of doctors. They typically followed his teachings, and in the 80s and 90s, an investigation came after 3 infants died at the community during or shortly after birth. Then he produced a radio-powered solar station to get his message out. Say his broadcast dramatically increased due to a large contribution, which allowed him to purchase hundreds of hours per day of broadcasting time, which totaled to about $1.5 million. They say the ministry radio thing failed because the authorities raided and took all their equipment. He said he put a strong emphasis on millennial predictions of world-changing events, which will result in divine judgment. In 1999, he said there would be changes such as the dawn of the third millennium. If the Lord God Almighty does not make a major move before the year 2000, he said, I tell God to go to hell. That's what he said. He said, if the Lord God Almighty does not make a major move before the year 2000, I'm going to tell him to go to hell. He also received publicity over the years for several of his prophecies, including a nuclear confrontation prophesied in 1988, and that Ronald Reagan would not complete. See, he was a false prophet, and then people kept listening to him. He gave them prophecies, and they failing, and you steady going. That's how you know people don't want God. That's how you know they're stupid. This nigga telling bold-faced lies, you be like, that's my pastor.
This nigga said, give me all your money. I'm going to send you in the handbook.
And that's what a lot of these brews out here doing now. Give me all your money. I'm going to free you from debt. Debt these nuts. What you can do? No, in this book, don't try to be the all things in common. They sold off. No preacher in this book ever told nobody to sell everything they got and give it to me, so we can do the work of the ministry. Them people didn't sell all their stuff for that. That stuff went into a pool to give to the poor, the fatherless, the widows, and things of that nature. That's what that money went to in Acts 2 when them people pulled that stuff and sold it. Not to go to your maggot behind so you could buy some radio time. So you could purchase some land for a nigga to live on. Oh, nigga, you supposed to already have the land before I get here. You ain't supposed to use my goddamn money to buy the land, nigga. If the Lord with you, he would have caused the way where a sinner would have heaped up and gave it to you. Not you asking it for me so you can get it and then make me have to live on it. Talking about we all on it. Man, go to hell. Man, you can't be falling for that type of stuff. Man, you got to be a goddamn fool. The church own everything. You own nothing. Man, what do you say, boy? I slap that nigga with an AIDS infested limp penis before I go for that. Man, you ain't supposed to do that. Because I'm telling you, go read, he say, yeah, go, Emma, go read Acts 2 and what that money was for. It didn't go to Peter them. They didn't take that money and say, let's go buy some land and build communities for everybody to live on. That's not what they did. Stop letting these people lie to you. What that song say? Why you what? Always lying. You just ain't supposed to be giving these people your money like that. I done seen video of people they sold their house and gave all the money to the preacher. I already told you. You tell me you sold your house and you hand me a check, I'm gonna burn the check and punch you in your throat. I tell you, I hope it's too late now. They cleared the clothes. Your house gone. Why you did that? I ain't gonna burn your check. I'm gonna tell you, you need to go buy another house. Because I don't know why you did that. Because I'm not taking that. I couldn't in good conscience take that. This is for the ministry. Where you gonna live? Like you got where you gonna live? We could go out here and live in the woods and we ain't got to worry about nothing. You going to live in the woods. I don't want to live in the woods. I don't want to live out there. See, you're not doing the work, brother. You ain't out here tilling the ground. I tilled the ground. That's why I got these kids. You can go on over there. You can go till the ground. I ain't no farmer. Peter wasn't no farmer. Paul wasn't no farmer. The Lord wasn't no farmer. He was a carpenter. That man was a framer. That man built frames for houses. You did? Master builder. Hell, you talking about? You won't be off in it. You won't have me off in the cut, try to do me like, no, cuz, you won't have me out here. So, won't. Come on with it, man. But I tell them boy that yesterday, man. That's why I know we ain't never got down with too many of these organizations because I don't toss salads and perform fellatio. We wouldn't last long. Because I can give you your proper respect as a man. These dudes want dudes to bow down and top him off. You know what I'm talking about? And worship him and all. And I'm not doing all that. I ain't doing all that. That boy said, I got some tree branches and some shrubs to make a tent. Boy, you gonna be in there by yourself messing with me. Nigga be like, let's camp out. Shoot, I'm gonna camp out right in the room. We've advanced as a civilization. I ain't gotta sleep outside. I'm not finna volunteer to do it. But you know, you gotta get closer to nature. I'm gonna do that when I die. I'm gonna be close to it as I can. I don't want to sleep outside. Call me what you want to. I don't give a damn. See, this is the thing. Nobody couldn't define me as a man because I don't give a damn about your opinion. Dead serious. Like, you ain't no man. You don't want to farm. All right, that make you feel better. You ain't a man because you a buster. How about that? You farm all day long and you a sucker. You're dishonorable. You're untrustworthy. You're unfaithful. You lie. You're spiteful. But you sure is a man because you can plant some rutabagas. So stupid behind out of here, nigga. You know what I'm talking about? Hell out of here, nigga. Like, for real, though. Yeah, nigga say, I can look at my rutabagas, man. Look at my sweet potatoes. Manhood ain't defined by planting no damn fruits and vegetables, nigga. Nigga be like, all right, if you want a traditional woman, can you build a house? Hell no, ho, I look like an engineer to you. You just think somebody just wake up one day and say, let me build a house? Do you know what it takes to build a house? I'm talking about literally build a house, pour the foundation, frame the house, wire the house, plumb the house, hang the drywall, put on the roof. It ain't no light work. That ain't just something you just roll out of bed. I'm a man. Let me show you how to lay up. I don't know how to do that. You know how many niggas know how to do that? That's a general contractor. Man, ain't too many people know how to build no house. Then if I build a house, we don't want this stuff that they be building. No, not no doggone paper mache. Now we want some brick. You know how that, man, come on, man. You want some concrete block. You want something that's gonna last. But bro, you know how difficult it is to build a concrete block house and then insulate that? Man, you gotta know what you're doing, man. Everybody love to talk about what somebody should be doing when you ain't never did it before. Let me see you hang some drywall. You know how heavy drywall is? Have you ever picked up a drywall sheet? And them Mexicans be carrying them hoes on their head. Man, I seen the Mexicans with 2-3 sheets of drywall like this here. I'm like, boy, I live waste and I can't pick that hoe up. When that drywall drop on your foot, boy, your whole foot finna be cut off. But that junk heavy, bro. That junk fall on your feet, boy, I'll guarantee you're gonna lose a half a toe. If you ain't got no right shoes on.
You don't got the right shoes.
Shoot, I ain't talking about no slides, boy. I'm talking about, boy, you need boots on. Everybody who go to construction site don't be having no boots on. Especially on house flippers. There's no Atlanta. Everybody that don't got no boots on, the boy be coming in there with busted up sneakers. Then you got to do HVAC. Now, see what a lot of these congregations do who do that. They got brothers in the congregation that have them skills. You know what I'm saying? But just asking a random man, can you build me a house? I'm walking away from you, bro. Don't compare you making no goddamn spaghetti to no building no house. That ain't no comparison. People get paid hundreds of thousands of dollars to build houses. Ain't no paying you $100,000 to flip a burger. Yeah. Yeah. I'm like, nigga. Bro, we deal with houses, bro. Y'all know that, like, boy, to build a house, but a roofer getting at least 30 to 50 racks. To drywall a house of this size, boy, I bet you walk up out of there with at least 10 bands. To plumb a house, bro, where you walking away with at least 7. HVAC man getting at least 10 to 20. You talking about to put AC in a whole house? With the doggone, and what you call that thing out there? Condenser? Then you got to still put the doggone thing in the house. The electrician gonna get 10 to 15 racks. The flooring man gonna get 10 to 15 racks. Then you gotta pay the painter. He gonna get 10 to 15 racks. Then hold on. Then you got to hire the framer. We ain't even mention him. Then you got to hire the cabinet man and the window guy. That ain't cheap now. That junk ain't cheap. Not to build no house. And then you're going to want a big house. And, I forgot. And the insulation man. Because you're going to have to put insulation in the ceiling. You know, in the attic if you would. You want doggone. Oh, no, that's not Nael. That's a little bug. That's Emma Sharon. She smiled at the sound of your name. Where Grandma at? Come here, Grandma. Somebody asked for you. Why you bending up your clothes?
Oh.
Oh, you cold? Ain't no air on in here. Mother Sharona said, hey, you gonna tell her, hey? That should go right there, Emma. Come on, man. Yeah, man, that ain't no light matter, bro. But you know what, man, you mentioned all that, like he said how Paul said, hey, that's why I'm a wise master builder. That's why you had different people performing different, what you call it? Different trades in the house of God to build that house. She said, hey. Come on with it. Where you at with it?
24 and 36.
Come on.
And as they thus spake, Yahushua himself stood in the midst of them and said unto them, Shalom unto you. But they were terrified and affrighted and
thought they seen the what?
The Ruach.
What he said.
Why are you troubled? And why do thoughts arise in your hearts? Behold my hand and my feet, that it is I myself. Handle me and see.
For Ruach don't have what?
Flesh and bones, as you see me have.
What we just read Ezekiel 37 they had? Flesh and bones. Come on back. Where you at? What verse here? Now, I ain't saying that to ridicule no woman when they say, can you build a house? I'm saying that for people to understand, you really don't know what you, like this ain't the 1800s, the nigga threw you up a shack. A house like this, man, look here, man. I don't know how much this house will sell for right now. I know the last house go for about $375,000. Now, whether it's worth $375,000 on the open market is another thing because these house prices are inflated. You know what I'm talking about? But the average price for a home is $419,000 in the United States of America. You know what I'm saying? Do you understand the level of labor you talking about building a particular house? And you just think that just somebody just wake up and know how to do? We just mentioned 4 to 6 highly paid trades. Electricians get paid well. Plumbers get paid well. Roofers get paid well. I'm not talking about the ones who doing the labor. I'm talking about the company. Because that's a skill. An electrician is a skilled trade. You literally can really only get in that through apprenticeship. You know what I'm saying? A plumber is a skilled trade. HVAC is a skilled trade. Now, painting and drywall is considered to be a skilled trade, but yet you can train anybody to do it. That don't mean they're good at it, because I've seen some bad drywall jobs in my day. I don't know about y'all. You seen some? I seen some terrible.
I've been in plenty of them houses.
Terrible. Like, why you mudded this house like this? Why you hung that? How you hang drywall crooked? That junk ain't light, man. Like I told you, right? You'll have somebody want a ceiling fan like that installed, and if you went to an electrician, they would want $400 to $500 to do it, and they'll be like, "Nah, I know a guy, he can do it for $150." And then you calling the electrician back complaining about how this nigga hung your ceiling fan wrong because he didn't know what he was doing. You know what I'm saying? And it's kind of like with the word, you're gonna be asking for God for your soul back because this nigga didn't know what he was doing, and you ain't gonna get no refund because you going to hell. Go ahead.
We're in verse 6. Ezekiel 37.
Come on.
Saying, I will lay sinews upon you and will bring up flesh upon you and cover you with skin.
Cover you with skin.
And put breath in you and you shall live.
You're going to live, John 5:25. You done got aggressive in your old age.
Truly, truly, I say unto you, the hour is coming and now is.
That the son?
When the dead shall hear the voice of the son of Alahym, and they that hear shall live.
They're going to live, baby.
For as the Abba have life in himself, so
as who? Hold on. As what?
As the Abba have life in himself.
As the Abba have what?
Life in himself.
So has he what?
Given to the Son to have life in himself.
My God, today.
And have given him authority to execute judgment also, because
Why?
he is the Son of Man. Marvel not at this, for the hour is coming in the which all that are in the grave shall hear his voice, shall come forth, they that have done good unto the resurrection of life,
And they who have done evil
unto the resurrection of damnation.
Now come on back to Ezekiel 37. Does that sound? What do you think he's talking about? He says the Abba have life in himself. He's giving life to the Son. And it's going back to the point of the priesthood of Melchizedek being a commandment of endless life. And that life is with God. That life comes through faith in Yahuwah, not in the application of the law. That's not where life resides at. Now you can't lose your life for doing it, but you can lose your life for not. But you can never lose your life if you believe in Yahuwah, because you would delight in Yahuwah so much. How could you sin? Why would you sin? How would it even be an option or a concern? Why would you be entangled with the cares and affairs of this life and in the world if you had faith in Yahuwah like you say you do? Come on. Why you all up in the mix?
In verse 7.
Come on.
So I prophesied as I was commanded, and as I prophesied, there was a noise, and behold, a shaking, and the bones came together, bone to his bone. When I beheld, lo, the sinews and the flesh came up upon them. The skin covered them above, but there was no breath in them.
There was no what in them?
There was no breath in them.
My God.
Then he said unto me, prophesy unto the wind, prophesy, son of man, and say to the wind, thus saith Yahuwah Alahym, come from the four winds, O breath, and breathe upon these slain that they may live.
Breathe upon these who?
These slain.
Pause. Tell them what slain means. And then give me Hosea 6 and 6. Then give me Hebrews 4 and 12. Hebrews 4 and 12 and Hosea 6 is going to be redundant, but I don't care.
That's harag, to kill,
To
slay,
kill.
murder, destroy.
These people are slaves, they're destroyed. Give me Psalms 119, 174.
I have longed for your salvation, O Yahuwah, and your law is my delight. Let my soul live, and it shall praise you. Let your judgments help me. I have gone astray like a lost sheep.
I've gone astray like a what?
Like a lost sheep.
Like a what?
Lost sheep. Seek your servant.
Seek your who?
Seek your servant.
Tell them what lost is. We said it earlier, but just for informational purpose.
That's a bod. Perish, vanish, go astray, to be destroyed.
They're destroyed. Matthew 15 and 20.
These are which defile a man, but to eat with unwashed hands defile not a man. Then Yahushua went thence and departed into the coast of Tyre and Sidon.
Listen.
And behold, a woman of Canaan came out of the same coast and cried unto him, saying,
What she said?
have mercy on me, O Lord, son of David.
What did she ask for?
Have mercy on me, O Lord, son of David.
Now, I was asked this question today too. He said, you don't believe that people got demons? I said, hell no. He was mentioning that in regards to people having demons for their behavior. You ain't got no lust demon, you just lustful. Y'all know that. You ain't niggas got a spirit for everything, don't he? He got a lying demon on him. No, he just lied. You know what I'm saying? He got a whoremonger spirit. No, he's just a whore. He ain't got no spirit. He has the spirit of a whore, but there ain't no demon making him do that. You got to stop doing that, because what that is it's always a way to find a way to pass accountability off to somebody else versus actually regulating your behavior. Or on a different level, looking within yourself and assessing yourself of what is the root cause that causes you to behave in a certain fashion so you can eliminate said behavior and no longer conduct yourself in that fashion. That's what people don't want to do. That's what people don't want to do. Because if you have a lustful type of mind, there's a reason why you lust like that. And it's not always somebody sexually exploiting you, but there's a reason for it. And usually improper sexual encounters is usually the genesis of it. And it's not always some adult touching on you. It could have been you being hunting a girl when you were younger and not really understanding what you were doing, and that feeling of pleasure set something off in your mind and you chasing it. You know what I'm talking about? It's not always somebody molesting you. It could be just as simple as you not understanding what sex is and having sex at a young age, 14, 15 years old, and now you chasing that because you're enthralled with the pleasure. But really you enthralled with what you think is closeness to another person, but you're really trying to fill a void of not having a closeness with your mama, daddy, whoever the case may be. You know what I'm saying? You trying to feel something else in your life with pleasure. You have to deal with what that. Now, some people just are pleasure seekers, and there is no root cause. This felt good to me, and I want to keep doing it. He has to learn self-control. Like everybody who don't drink because I went through something in life. Some people just started drinking one day, really liked it, and destroyed their life because they couldn't stop drinking. You know what I'm saying? Because I like getting drunk. You got to have some type of self-awareness to be able to defeat sin and to overcome your flesh. If you don't have any level of self-awareness, you're going to keep doing the same thing to the day you die. And you'll be looking for somebody to blame as the reason why you're doing it, when the person you should have blamed is the person you looked at in the mirror every morning when you brushed your funky behind mouth. Go ahead.
And behold, a woman of Canaan came out of the same coast and cried unto him, saying, have mercy on me, O Lord, son of David. My daughter is grievously vexed with the devil. But he answered her not a word.
He ain't answered.
And the disciples came and besought him, saying, send her away, for she cry after us. But he answered and said, I am not sent, but unto the lost sheep of the house of Yahweh.
What a lot of people don't realize is, what did the disciples ask him to do?
Send her away.
What did he do it?
No.
Nobody pays attention to the fact that they asked him to send her away and he didn't do it. That should have gave you an inkling of what he would do towards the Gentiles at a later date, because he could have easily just said, baby, get out my face. Go ahead.
Then came she and worshipped him, saying, Lord, help me. But he answered and said, it is not meet to take the children's bread and cast to dogs.
Now, hold on. Tell him what the lost sheep means. We just seen it in Psalms 119. Let's see what the definition is in the Greek. And this is important why he ministered to this Canaanite woman. And I'm going to ask you a question as it pertains to that in a moment.
So this pretty much is the same definition.
Destroy. What destroys you? Sin destroys you. So this ain't got nothing to do with you lost your nationality. You don't know who you are. And you shouldn't even think that when considering that everybody he was standing in front of at that time knew they were Israelites. Go ahead.
And she said, truth, Lord, yet the dogs eat of the crumbs which fall from the master's table.
What did he say?
Then Yahweh answered and said unto her, O woman, great is your faith, be it unto you even as you will. And her daughter was made whole from that very hour.
Let me ask y'all a question. How does this situation relate to the priesthood of Melchizedek? Does anyone have any idea how this situation relates to the priesthood of Melchizedek? Don't everybody answer at once now. Doris. Doris said, I ain't got no answer. She said, I don't want to talk. I got a man now. Doris, you rode out there playing Jagged Edge on your way out there. Mm-hmm. You did. You played case. Huh? Say what? You did what? No, I'm talking about on the way there.
Oh, with Denise.
Oh, with Denise.
Denise don't look like
playing that Jagged Edge.
That nigga, that like. Denise don't look like she like that. She look like she probably told you cut on this Christina Aguilera. She probably wanted to play some Doja Cat.
Definitely like a Doja Cat type shit. Definitely a Doja.
Doris like, don't play that. She's singing about the devil, but it's my song. I don't know too much about that whole that other than that she weird. I know one, at least one. When she said I'm a cow.
Wow, that's the only track I know. I remember that the first one.
I know a couple of them.
I thought that was fake.
Oh no, that was a real record.
It was. Shit,
people like Hollywood writers and stuff like that. They
oh, made sense. But that track was trash.
yeah.
It wasn't meant to be serious, but it caught on. Y'all don't got any idea how this relates to the priesthood of Melchizedek? Let me tell you how. Were there any tribes in Genesis 14 with the priesthood of Melchizedek? Yes or no? So that means he was the priest of the Most High who? So that means he was the priest of the what? There it is. That's why he didn't tell that woman to go away. That's why he didn't tell that woman to go away. That's why he granted her request. Because the priesthood of Melchizedek is not bound by what? Carnal commandment. He's not bound by that. Aaron's bound by that. Yahuwah is not bound by that. And that's why he could send Paul to do what he did. That's what dudes don't understand. Yahuwah's not bound by that. You are. You know what I'm talking about? So we be like, well, why the apostles ain't do it? Because he told his apostles don't go to them people. He never told Paul not to go. Because Paul was killing people, so he couldn't tell him not to go. You know what I'm talking about? That makes sense to you? Come on back, Sid. Where we at?
Ezekiel 37.
No. $37 and what?
Verse 10.
Ezekiel 37:10. Once we get to 12, we gone.
Say Saul prophesied as he commanded me, and the breath came into them, and they lived, and stood
they
up upon
lived.
their feet, an exceeding great army. Then he said unto me, Son of man, these bones are the whole house of Yasharal. Behold, they say our bones are dried, and our hope is lost. We are cut off for our parts. Therefore prophesy and say unto them, Thus saith Yahuwah Alahym, behold, O my people.
Tell them what cut off for their part. See, that's when he said, see, it's about Israel. I've never said it was about Israel. I said it's about the resurrection of the dead.
Cut off is bizarre, to cut, divide, cut down, to cut off, cut in two, to snatch, to decree.
So he cut them off. He said, we're cut off from our parts. Tell them what parts is. We're cut off from our parts. What did it cut off?
There ain't even a word for it.
So we just cut off. What cuts you off? Isaiah 59:1 tell you what cuts you off. Sin. Now, Hebrews 7:14. Somebody not listening. Let's go get a belt.
For it is evident that our Lord sprang out of Yehuda, of which tribe Moses spake nothing concerning priesthood.
Do you see that's why I mentioned that pertaining to the Canaanite woman? Because the Canaanite woman wouldn't have been able to go to Aaron them and get that type of relief. Go ahead. It is far more
evident
that after
the similitude of Melchizedek
arise a what?
Another priest
who is made what?
Not after the law of a carnal
but after the power of
an endless life.
And that's how we know Ezekiel 37 is the resurrection of the dead, because when he resurrected from the dead himself, he said, a spirit don't have what?
Flesh and bone.
As you see me what? Yeah. So if he's got flesh and bones just like those people in that valley, this is a commandment of endless life. That's what they meant, because what was the commandment that he gave? For the skins and tendons to come on the bones and to put life in them so they could live. Because once they live, they would never what? Never die. Go ahead. For he testified,
you are priest forever after the order of Melchizedek.
For there is truly
a disannulling of the commandment going before for the weakness and unprofitableness
thereof.
For
the what?
For the weakness and unprofitableness thereof.
Tell him what unprofitable means. How is this unprofitable? What? Notice when he say the disannulling of the commandment, he's talking about the disannulling of Numbers 3 and Numbers 18, that the priesthood come through Aaron. This is why verse 14 mentions that. This is specifically what it's dealing with, which is taking us specifically back to Leviticus 16, with Aaron being the one to make the atonement for himself and then for the sins of the people. Which takes us back to what we already referenced in Daniel chapter 9. Hold on, I done missed comments over here. I'm sorry. Which caused you to miss what he said in Daniel 9 and 24. Y'all know what he said in Daniel 9 and 24, don't you? We talk about it a lot. That the city should be built unto Mashiach the Prince. To what? Make an end of sins. To finish the transgression, to make reconciliation for iniquity, to anoint the Most Gosh, and to bring in everlasting righteousness. Well, what's everlasting righteousness? That's endless life. Aaron can't do that. The tree of knowledge of good and evil can't do that. But Melchizedek in life can do that. Because Yahuwah is the giver of life. Yahuwah is life. If you don't know Yahuwah is life, look here. If you want to know about Yahuwah's life, you're going to have to go on the YouTube channel on your desktop or your iPad or whatever device you use, because they're the only ones that I know. or your laptop, because you're not going to see it on your phone. And you'll see the video on the channel, the first one you'll see, and it say Yahuwah's life, and you listen to that for yourself. You know what I'm talking about? And I'm dead serious. I'm not playing. If you go on the desktop version, I don't know if you can do that with your phone, but I know that won't pull up on the channel if you go to the channel on your phone. Like, you know, when I cut this thing off and you hear that, there's a video on the top desktop iPad version of the channel. Well, that Yahuwah's life video is there. Or you can just, you know, I might just put it in the community tab. Who knows? You know what I'm talking about? But that's what's there, because life comes from Yahuwah. Life don't come from the law. Life don't come from you being an Israelite. That's why John the Baptist told them people, don't say that you have Abraham the father, because Alahym is able to raise stones for a seed from Abraham. Don't you fix your mouth and say no folly like that. Like just because you from Abraham's seed, God owe you something. Come on, sir.
Well, unprofitableness is anophylace, that's unprofitable, useless.
Useless. So why is it useless? Romans 8:1. Going back to something we just recently dealt with.
Therefore, now no condemnation to them which are Mashiach Yahushua, who walk not after the flesh, but after the Ruach. For the law of the Ruach of life and Mashiach Yahushua have made me free from the law of sin and death.
Made me free from the law of what?
Of sin and death.
Run it again from the top one more time.
Say, therefore, now no condemnation to them which are Mashiach Yahushua, who walk not after the flesh, but after the Ruach. For the Ruach of life and Mashiach Yahushua have made me free from the law of sin and death.
Made me free from the law of sin and death.
For what the law could not do, in that it was weak through the flesh, Alahym sending his own son in the likeness of sinful flesh, and for sin condemned sin in the flesh.
Condemned sin in the flesh.
That the righteousness of the law might be fulfilled in us who walk not after the flesh, but after the Ruach. For they that are after the flesh do mind the things of the flesh, but they that are after the Ruach are the things of the Ruach. For to be carnally minded, death, but to be spiritually minded, life and shalom.
That's good. You see how that worked? How is Aaron going to profit you? How is you going to get some profit from that? Tell them what weakness is just on the strength in this Hebrews chapter 7, verse 18. I know people don't want to hear that. They probably snatching their teeth. I'm going to subscribe him from this channel. He's a heretic. No, you got license ticks. We don't know about that, though.
That's the nature. That's weak and firm, feeble.
See how they go back there? He said he that is feeble to be as who? So that means Aaron was weak, feeble, and infirm. Not because he was a weak person, but because he was what? Flesh. What we read in Isaiah 14 when he said, you've been made weak like what? One of us? You've been made like one of us? Then we read he made him a little lower than the Malachim for the purpose of sufferings of death. Verse 19, Hebrews 7.
For the law made nothing perfect, but the bringing in of a better hope, by the which we draw near unto Alahym.
He said the law made nothing what?
Perfect.
But the bringing in of a better what?
Hope.
See, the tree of life would have been a better hope. That's why he kept it back. The Melchizedek priesthood is of a better hope. Why you screaming about Levite this and Levite that? That's why I be tripping when dudes say, if you tithing, that's for Levite. But in tithing before Levite, you don't know the law well enough. Shut up. And it's not even the aspect of you talking about tithes. It means you don't know the book. Because who came first, Melchizedek or Levite? So then it doesn't matter. What are you talking about? See, some people, when I hear certain things, I hear, oh, this person don't understand the word. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
And then as much as not without an oath, for those priests were made without an oath, but this with an oath by him that said unto him, the Lord swear and will not repent.
You are a priest.
Forever after the order of Melchizedek.
But so much as
Yahushua made a surety of a better testament.
And they truly were many priests.
Because they were not suffered to continue by reason of death.
That's why that was weak, because they died. But listen what he say. But this man,
because he continued ever,
has a what?
An unchangeable priesthood.
My God. Listen, that's the point. He has an unchangeable what?
Priesthood.
Hebrews 13:8.
Yahushua HaMashiach, the same yesterday and today and forever.
Malachi 3:6? She looking around like, yeah, why you in this chair?
For I, Yahuwah, I change not. Therefore, you sons of Jacob are not consumed.
If it's an unchangeable priesthood and Yahuwah changed not, then guess what that means? Deuteronomy 32 and 41.
If I wet my glittering sword and my hand take hold on judgment, I will render vengeance to my enemies and will reward them that hate me. I will make my arrows drunk with blood, and my sword shall devour flesh.
Listen.
With the blood of the slain and of the captives from the beginning of revenges upon the enemy.
Listen.
Rejoice, all you nations, his people, for he will avenge the blood of his servants.
Listen.
Will render vengeance to his adversaries, and will be merciful unto his land and to his people. Moses came and spake all the words of this song in the ears of the people. He and Hosea, the son of Nun, and Moses made an end of speaking all these words to all Yasharal.
Listen.
He said unto them, set your hearts into all the words which I testify among you this day, which you shall command your children to observe to do. All the words of this law, for it is not a vain thing for you, because it is your life.
It's your life.
And through this thing you shall prolong days in the land where you go over Jordan to possess it. Yahuwah spake unto Moses that self-same day, saying, get you up into the mountain Abarim, mountain Abo, which is in the land of Moab, that is over against Jericho. And behold the land of Canaan, which I give unto the children of Yasharal for a possession.
Give me 36.
For Yahuwah shall judge his people and repent himself for his servants when he see that their power is gone and none shut up or left. He shall say, where are their gods, the rock in whom they trusted, which did eat the fat of their sacrifices and drank the wine of their drink offerings.
Come on.
Let them rise up and help you.
Let them help you.
Be your protection. See now that I am he. No God with me. I kill and I make alive. I wound and I heal.
I heal, baby.
Neither that can deliver out of my hand.
And nobody can live.
For I lift up my hand in Shamayim and say, I live forever.
I lift up my hand and Shamayim and say, what?
I live forever.
I live for what?
I live forever.
Give me Deuteronomy 30 and 15 on the house. Hey. I don't know what y'all got going on, but I don't like it.
See, I have set before you this day life and good, death and evil.
I said before you what?
Life and good.
Life and who?
Life and good.
And what else?
Death and evil.
What else?
And that day.
Pause. Genesis 2 and 17 on the house. I mentioned it last night. I just wanted to be on record. That we read it.
But of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, you shall not eat of it, for in the day that you eat thereof, you shall surely die.
Matter of fact, what's the other verse for it? What? 14? No, it's not 14. Tell me what 2 and 7 say. Just start me right there. Genesis 2 and 7.
And Yahuwah Alahym formed man, the dust of the ground, and breathed into his nostrils the breath of life, and man became a living soul.
So listen, man was alive before he even knew a law was planted. Man was alive. And who gave him life? Yahuwah gave him life. Thou shalt not didn't give him life. And I put that video in the community tab also, by the way. Continue. You got to deal with Deacon Feelgood at the beginning, but you can suffer.
And Yahuwah Alahym planted a garden eastward in Eden, and there he put the man whom he had formed. And out of the ground made Yahuwah Alahym to grow every tree that is pleasant to the sight, good for food, the tree of life also in the midst of the garden, and the tree of knowledge of good and evil.
The tree of knowledge of good and evil, and what else?
And a river went out of Eden to water the garden, from thence it was parted.
So listen, both of these things are there. So he put before you good and evil, life and death, blessing and cursing, and told you to do what? Choose life. So when you read, get this John 8 and 20. Listen what he said. Let's see if Yahushua finna say the same thing here in John 8 and 20. Let's see if he say something similar words.
These words spake Yahushua in the treasury as he taught in the temple. No man laid hands on him, for his hour was not yet come.
Matter of fact, make it 14. John 8 and 14.
Yahushua answered and said unto them, though I bear record of myself, my record is true. For I know whence I came and where I go, but you cannot tell me whence I come and where I go.
What else?
You judge after the flesh, I judge no man.
He judge after the what?
After the flesh,
I judge
no man. And yet if I judge, my judgment is true, for I am not alone, but I am the Abba that sent me. It is also written in your law that the testimony of 2 men is true.
That's right.
I am one that bear witness of myself.
And who else?
And the Abba that sent me bear witness of me.
What else?
Then said they unto him, where is your Abba? Yahushua answered,
He said, you know him not.
you neither know me nor my Abba. If you had known me, you should have known my Abba also.
My God.
These words spake Yahushua in the treasury as he taught in the temple.
That's the thing. if these dudes know the Father like they say they do, they would know the Son of God from Genesis to Malachi and believe and obey and be filled with the Ruach. And they wouldn't be saying the asinine and idiotic things that they say. Go ahead.
As he taught in the temple, no man laid hands on him, for his hour was not yet come. Then said Yahushua again unto
What
him,
he told?
I go my way, you shall seek me and shall die in your sins.
You're going to die. I'm going to go my way and you're going to die in your what?
Die in your sins.
If you believe.
Where I go, you cannot come.
You can't go where I'm going, baby.
Then said the Yahudim, will he kill himself?
Oh, my.
Said, where I go, you cannot come.
Come on.
Said unto them, you are from beneath.
I'm from above.
You are of this world. I am not of this world. Said therefore unto you that you shall die in your sins. For if you believe not that I am, you shall die in your sins.
I've set before you life and death, blessing and cursing. He telling them to choose life, but what they said to choose.
Then said they unto him, who are you? And Yahushua said unto them,
I am who I told you.
That I said unto you from the beginning.
I told you from the jump street who I was, Goofy.
I have many things to say and to judge of you.
But you can't deal with
it
him
right
right
that
now.
sent me is true, and I speak to the world those things which I have heard of him. They understood not that he spake to them of the Abba.
You can't be Al Bunyan in my living room, man. You ain't here Al Bunyan. You want us to bring you a beer? You want Bud Light? Bud Dry? Miller Lite? Well, I know what you like. You like Bush beer. Come on.
Then said Yahushua unto them, when you have lifted up the Son of Man, then shall you know that I am. And I do nothing of myself, but as the Abba hath taught me, I speak these things.
Hey, get off that table, boy. Get off the table, boy. I'm talking to you. Get off the table, cuz. Kari, get off the table. Now, if I have to get up to forcibly remove you from that table, it's going to be a problem. That's not a chair for you to sit on, cuz. That's a table. There's a nice floor. Use it. If you don't want to sit on the floor, then you can stand. But you're not going to sit on my table. That's what you're not going to do. Go ahead.
And he that sent me is with me. The Abba hath not left me alone, for I'll do always those things that please him. As he spake these words, many believed on him.
That's good. I just wanted you to see that he set before them an option. Deuteronomy 30 and 15.
See, I have set before you this day life and good, death and evil, and that I command you this day to love Yahuwah your Alahym.
Do you see how that when we're talking about how it's the unprofitable and weakness thereof? Because the priesthood of Aaron, it's not life. So now with the priesthood of Melchizedek, you have an option of which one you want to rock with, because he done set before you life and death. Go ahead.
And that I command you this day to love Yahuwah your Alahym, to walk in his ways, and to keep his commandments and his statutes and his judgments, that you may live and multiply. Yahuwah your Alahym shall baruch you in the land where you go to possess it.
What up?
But if your heart turn away, so that you will not hear, but shall be drawn away and worship other gods and serve them, I denounce unto you this day that you shall surely perish. You shall not prolong days upon the land where you pass over Jordan to go to possess it. I call Shamahim in earth to record this against you. I have set before you life and death.
I set before you life and death.
Blessing and cursing.
Blessing and cursing.
Therefore choose life.
Choose what?
Choose life.
Choose what?
Life.
My God.
That both you and your seed may live.
That's what the Lord did, didn't it? He chose the tree of life. Let me go back to what I told you about Romans 4. Romans 4 and 1. I got Leviticus 16 right here. Where we stopped at the other night. We'll pick it up at 18. I got time.
What shall we say then that Abraham our father pertaining to the flesh hath found?
What he found?
For if Abraham were justified by works,
if he was justified by what?
By works.
He would what? Know the cause. What does justified mean? What does that mean? What word would be there? Oh, y'all don't know? You know about it. You know what word should be there? You know about Tazadaki? Because I think he took that word and made it something else, because I don't think that's a name. Is that a name? Tazadaki. He called himself Tazadaki. Yeah, just supposed to be Zadok, but he made it Zadaki.
That's Lashawan.
Lashawan. Lashawan, Raven. But yeah, righteous. Remember to tell you in Isaiah 53, the knowledge of my righteous servant will justify many. It's Zadok. So is he Zadok by his works? Is he righteous by his works? Go ahead.
For what saith the scripture? Abraham believed Alahym, and it was counted unto him for righteousness. Now to him that work is the reward not reckoned of grace, but of debt.
If that means it's not the favor and acceptance of God, it's that God owe you. Come on.
But to them that work not, but believe on him that justify the ungodly, his faith is counted for righteousness. Even as David also described the blessedness of the man unto whom Alahym.
Hey. Sir, sit in the chair. Stop spinning around. I don't care about that, boy. Well, get your funky behind out my chair and sit on the floor then. Get your feet out my chair. Get out my chair. Nigga, I don't know who you think you're talking to. And now you see where he at, on the floor. Okay, well, sit outside. Does that work for you? Your daddy can unlock the screen door and you can go right outside. And you can sit on the concrete. Go ahead.
Even as David also described the blessedness of the man unto whom Alahym impute
This Psalm
righteousness
32 he referring to.
without works, saying, Baruch are they whose iniquities are forgiven and whose sins are covered. Baruch the man to whom...
What work can you do to make God cover your sins? Let me ask you a question. In John 8, what work did that woman do for Yahushua to say your sins are forgiven you? Not now. In Luke chapter 7, when Mary washed his feet, he said, what did he say she did to get her sins forgiven? What did he say? Take a look at it. Luke 7, 31, I believe.
And the Lord said, whereunto then shall I liken the men of this generation?
Drop it down to 39.
Now when the Pharisees which had bidden him saw, he spake within himself, saying, this man, if he were a prophet, would have known who and what man or woman is this that touch him, for she is a sinner.
Listen.
Yahushua answering said unto him, Simon, I have somewhat to say unto you. And he said, Master, say on.
Now I'm going to tell you something, right? Because we were just talking about this here. A lot of people believe the Bible doesn't give any type of protection towards women. And that's only because you got old dick in the booty, you know what I'm talking about, sucker buster type dudes that take particular things out of the way in order to rule over a woman, because no woman actually likes them. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't have to do all that to get a woman to follow you if she likes you, because she'll do that anyway. But what I will say is this, and I probably told y'all this before. If you act unbecoming of a man on a consistent basis, her female nature in and of itself will automatically begin to start disrespecting you. You know what I'm talking about? It won't even be anything consciously that she's attempting to do. Now, if your unmasculine behavior is continual, it will come to the forefront of her mind and she will purposely disrespect you. You know what I'm saying? Because I had somebody explain it to me, the issue with a man who they held in high regard. He was carrying himself in a very dishonorable way for a man to conduct himself. And she found herself verbally disrespecting him, not even being consciously aware that she was doing it. You know what I'm talking about? Like, it wasn't like she came out of mind like, I'm finna say something smart to him, or I'm finna disrespect him. You cannot carry yourself in a manner unbecoming of a man over an extended period of time and think that you're going to maintain respect from a woman who you have close, intimate dealings with. And I ain't even talking about in a sexual fashion. I'm talking about just period. You cannot conduct yourself as less than a man in a woman's eyesight and think that she is going to continually respect you. She will not. Her nature won't allow it. Now, just because, you know, some people be like, if you do this here, a woman will submit naturally. I'm going to tell you right now, that's a bold-faced lie. Because submission is not something natural to a woman. The only thing natural for a woman is submission is yielding through sexual intercourse. But when you talk about submission as forth as yielding to a power greater than hers, you could be the most masculine, dominant man that ever lived. But if that woman is a disciplinary problem and has an inability to yield from their personal desires, she ain't submitting to nobody. Don't that sound familiar to you? Because that sounds like the whole house of Yasharal, don't it? Because did they submit to the Lord? I don't think they did. And I ain't even talking about when he was here in the flesh. He says similar to 1 John 3 and 12. Yeah, we'll take a look at it. Run that for me. 1 John 3, man. Give me verse 8. Shoot, you can make it. You can make it 4. 1 John 3 and 4.
Whosoever commits sin transgress also the law, for sin is the transgression of the law. You know that he was manifested to take away our sins, and in him is no sin. Whosoever abide in him sin not.
Whoever abide in him, what?
Sins not. Whosoever sin have not seen him,
neither know him.
Little children, let them.
Paul, that's why the Lord kept telling you, y'all don't know him, because you always sinning. That's why he said, if you would have seen my Father, you would have seen me also. You can't see him because you always sinning. And you ain't always sinning because you doing the stuff in the law. You always sinning because you don't believe. When you don't believe, you always gonna sin. I ain't never seen somebody who believe and run around and sin. And when I say believe, I'm talking about strong faith. I ain't talking about my faith weak, strengthen my faith type of thing. When your faith weak, you'll sin. I'm talking about strong faith, man. I'm talking about really rooted on the rock. I ain't never seen nobody who'll do that. Now, while you building your faith, that's why you say, while we build our faith and we be found sinners, is Mashiach, the minister of sin, God forbid. Because that can happen. You might slip up here and there while you're seeking to be justified by faith because you're getting built up on faith. You know what I'm saying? If you don't have no experience with the word and you just learning it, ain't nobody expecting you to have hardcore faith overnight. That's an unreasonable expectation. I don't even believe Yahuwah had that type of expectation. The reason why I say that is, y'all notice the people in the New Testament, them people was raised in the word. Now, whether they were abiding by all the statutes or not is a different conversation, but their whole life was in it. Their parents were in it. Their grandparents were in it. Their great-grandparents were in it. Everyone they are around, this is what their society was built on. You talking about all of us coming from living like niggas all our life. And you think you finna have a Mos Kadash faith just because you say, well, I believe what he talking about. But baby, you don't even know enough word yet to have strong faith. That take time. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead. 1 John
3 and 7.
3 and 7.
Said, little children, let no man deceive you. He that do righteousness is righteous, even as he is righteous. He that commits sin is of the devil.
He that commits sin is of the who?
Of the devil. For the devil sinned from the beginning.
Because the devil do what?
For sin from the beginning.
Listen what he finna say, though. This is why I wanted to read.
For this purpose.
This purpose, what?
The son of Alahym was manifested.
To do what?
That he might destroy the works of the devil.
Pause. And what does Hebrews 2 tell us? Who got power over death? So how does that relate to the priesthood of Melchizedek? Do you see the weakness and unprofitableness thereof that Aaron could do? There wasn't a single solitary sacrifice Aaron could offer that could defeat death or to destroy the works of the devil, right or wrong, because they had to come back every year. But when Mashiach did it, guess what? Satan was beaten. That's how the priesthood of Melchizedek is greater. That's how the tree of life is greater than the tree of knowledge of good and evil. The law could never defeat the works of the devil, ever. Go ahead.
Whosoever is born of Alahym do not commit sin, for his seed remain in him. He cannot sin because he is born of Alahym.
Because he's born of God.
And this the children of Alahym are manifest, and the children of the devil. Whosoever do not righteousness is not of Alahym.
They not of Alahym.
Neither he that love not his brother.
Either he that love not his brother.
For this is the message that you have heard from the beginning.
What's that message?
That we should love one another.
Go ahead.
Not as Cain, who was of that wicked one and slew his brother. Wherefore slew he him, because his own works were evil, and his brother's righteous.
What made Cain's work evil? I'm talking about in a more specific sense, and made Abel's works righteous. What's the difference? Hold on. He said the fact that it takes us time to perfect our faith is true. Absolutely, it does. I ain't got no correct positive on here. Go ahead.
You want to keep going?
Yeah.
Say, marvel not, my brethren, if the world hate you. We know that we have passed from death unto life because we love the brethren. He that loved not his brother abide in death.
He said we pass from what?
From death unto life.
Now, you know what made Abel's works righteous? Because he did it through faith and Cain didn't. That's the difference. That's the difference. That's all. Say what?
Said Daddy on that.
Oh, I never know you departed. What was that before? Yeah, finish Luke 10. Verse what?
41.
Luke 7 and 41.
Say there was a certain creditor.
That's correct, Regina. That's correct.
Which had two debtors. The one owed 500 pence, the other 50. And when they had nothing to pay, he frankly forgave them both. Tell me therefore, which of them will love him most?
Is he telling you that the law forgave him? He telling them God did it. Ain't that what Caleb had going on? But God didn't help him. He had a God help him, but it wasn't a living God. What I think this is, man. Proverbs 13 and 12. Is that Proverbs 13 and 12? Well, you know, it say love covers what? But I can remember it in 1 Peter chapter 4, because I don't think Proverbs 13 and 12, whatever. 1 Peter 4 and 7.
But the end of all things is at hand. Be you therefore sober and watch unto prayer. Above all things, have fervent charity among yourselves. Charity shall cover the multitude of sins.
Have fervent love among yourselves, because love will cover what?
The multitude of
It's
sins.
Proverbs 10 and 12. Let Yahuwah be esteemed.
Hatred stir up strifes,
But love do what?
Cover all sins.
Love do what?
Cover all sins.
The law cover all sins.
Love.
The law?
Love.
And Alahym is?
Love.
And Yahuwah Alahym what? And merciful. Along with that, gracious, long-suffering, abundant in goodness and truth, forgiving sin, iniquity, and transgression. What that sound like? Love cover a multitude of sins. So when you see it say, Alahym so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son, you see that Melchizedek priesthood is a priesthood that's rooted in love. While the priesthood of Aaron is a priesthood rooted in the instructions. You understand what I'm saying? Why? Because it's after the flesh, because it's after man, and it's not after God. So therefore, it can't have the love and mercy that come from God. Praise be to you. Come on back to Luke chapter 7. Hey, fat baby. What verse is it? She fat belly? Oh, I didn't know she was from out east.
Verse 43.
Luke 7 and 43.
Simon answered and said, I suppose that to whom he forgave most. And he said unto him, you have rightly judged. And he turned to the woman and said unto Simon, see you this woman? I entered into your house. You gave me no water for my feet, but she hath washed my feet with tears and wiped with the hairs of her head.
Listen.
You gave me no kiss, but this woman, since the time I came in, hath not ceased to kiss my feet.
Listen.
My head with oil you did not anoint, but this woman have anointed my feet with ointment.
Listen.
Wherefore I say unto you, her sins, which are many, are forgiven, for she loved much.
Because she what?
For she loved much.
Listen what else he say.
But to whom little is forgiven, the love little.
Listen, key point, what we're here for.
And he said unto her, your sins are forgiven. And they that sat at meat with him began to say within themselves,
who this man is forgiving sins?
And he said to the woman, your faith hath saved you.
Who,
Go
what,
in
what,
shalom.
hold on. What saved her?
Your faith hath saved
what
you.
What saved her?
Your faith.
Oh, I thought the law saved her.
Your faith.
My God, today. It wasn't no, she didn't come in there not talking about I don't eat no pork. Listen, the rich man came in and said he kept all the commandments, and that didn't save him. Because when he needed to have faith to perfect what he was doing, he neglected and he was damned. Does that mean you ain't supposed to keep the laws? Obviously not, because he told him, yeah, man, you've been doing that, keep doing it. But what you not understanding is that the perfection. That's why you can see what Paul write, or the writer of Hebrews write, and perfection came through the law, because perfection don't come through that. See, Hebrews don't want to hear that, but guess what? Don't matter what you want to hear. The book say what it say. Come on back to Leviticus 16. Matter of fact, did we finish? Yeah, we good in Zechariah 12. I still ain't grabbed what I wanted in Psalms 45 from Wednesday. It was in my mind when we started. Maybe another day. We got a lot of days coming. Oh man, that just made me think about when Buddy was on there with Charlamagne. He said, "Yeah, man, if you got guys coming over Saturday, got guys coming 5-6 times a day." That nigga said, "Golly." I say, boy, this boy want to pause, and this a man sitting around here giving casts of his bone to another man. Noah, what's wrong with you, boy? What y'all did to that boy? Woo, he sounded like Mordecai, didn't he? His whole voice sounded just like him. I said, I want my chair. Yeah, he sounded just like him. That boy said, I want my chair. He said, that's all right. Mama be the chair. Hey, why you gonna do a boy like that? What'd he do?
He's a human.
Huh? Look at him. That boy trying to get tough. Remember that boy was soft at drugstore cotton? Noah gave that boy a hard exterior. Oh.
That's crazy.
It was. Better that than the interior. You know what I'm saying? That boy done got tough enough, like the wrestling show, boy. Hey, boy, remember that nigga used to be soft, man. He used to talk to the kid, hey, y'all stop. You remember that? That's what he used to do, that nigga. Nigga used to tell, hey, y'all. He like, no, you can't do the kid. Like, hey,
Wonderful kids.
What do you want?
It's a wonderful day.
That old man on Family Guy.
No. That's the pervert. That's Herbert. That's Herbert. Come on, Chris.
You need some ice cream.
Yeah, I got some ice cream.
Of course, I got some popsicles in my face.
Oh yeah, that's what he said.
Stop.
If that they threw it in there on that cartoon, so.
Oh, that's an adult cartoon. That's a lot more than that.
What? Because you got Quagmire telling the dude.
Yeah, young child watching that and repeat that.
You stop it or you gonna get down. I'm not telling you no more.
Boy, knocking down every and any.
Boy had a whole episode of the boy arm being bigger than the other because he was in there killing himself. That boy was blind. I'm talking about all that. Knocking down men's wives and everything.
Ain't no limit.
No, I'm talking about Master P.
Like that,
Futurama.
like King of the Hill, that nigga's son mix and the Indian keep coming over there so much he got a back and forth like John Red down red corn. Get out of corn on the car.
I'm talking about he ain't getting the corn on the car, she getting it.
Bringing split corn on the car. Right now.
She like this here, 3-6 on my knob.
Got a headache.
Oh.
Sad part is, I'd have been like, man, that's not my damn child.
I couldn't see, man.
It's a whole nigga baby. Now, I'd be seeing people be asking that question on threads about people, would you be mad if your husband asked you for a DNA test? I'd be like, I don't know why you would even be upset. Nigga, you know that's your baby. He said, you supposed to trust me. I only trust God. They'll be mad then. No, it is. But I mean, I see that jump from both sides of the coin. I can see why the woman would be offended, and I can understand why the man would want it done. You know what I'm saying? If you ain't never seen a dude find out his jit wasn't his, then you can find out why dudes would be like, I ain't saying you a hoe or nothing, but I need to check.
That Jerry Springer era was wild.
Shoot, well, I seen it in real life from a few dudes. Boy, my homeboy took care of baby for 5 years before he found out that wasn't his. Boy, that man was devastated. You know what I'm talking about? That man was devastated. That boy went pulled it up. Yeah, that's gonna hit different. But I could understand from the woman's side of things, they were basically like, oh, I would do it, but we'd be breaking up after that. And I'd be like, that's just your pride. Boy, if that junk was mandatory when it would be born, when a child was born, boy, it'd be women running down the hallway of the hospital like more right after birth. I didn't even know she could move like that. She felt no pain. And she like this here. Where the cameraman at? How she running? Because I don't know the exact stats on that, but they was like the number of people, it's higher than people think when paternity tests are done and they find out the child is not there. It's way higher than what most people think. I say because that's not different for a man because I mean he don't know. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, now they come out, they look just like it, and you be like, well, I can't deny that one. But you know that's your baby. You know what I'm talking about? Because shoot, I hope it ain't somebody else's baby. I hope an alien ain't get you and put a baby in you. Because that would be a movie for the ages. Look, you smell like corn chips. Your breath stank. What your breath stank? What you eat? Your nose dirty.
Cheetos, all that.
Go ask your mama clean your nose. Your nose dirty. Huh? No, don't you go in that bathroom and clean nothing. Ask your mama to wipe your nose. Nah, she gonna go play in that sink and drown. Go ahead.
You want to start from 18?
Where you at? Yeah.
Leviticus 16.
Leviticus 16 and 18 is fine.
He shall go out unto the altar that is before Yahuwah and make an atonement for it, and shall take of the blood of the bullock and of the blood of the goat and put upon the horns of the altar round about.
He shall sprinkle
of the blood upon it with his fingers 7 times.
Cleanse it.
And hallow it from the uncleanness of the children of the Asherah.
From the what?
From the uncleanness of the children of the Asherah.
Hebrews 9 and 12. Make it 9 and 9.
Which a figure for the time then present, in which were offered both gifts and sacrifices that could not make him that did the service perfect as pertaining to the conscience.
That's what we're talking about right now, ain't it? Go ahead.
Only in meats and drinks and diverse washings and carnal ordinances and oaths until the time of Reformation. But a Mashiach being come a high priest of good things to come by a greater and more perfect tabernacle.
By a greater, more what?
Perfect tabernacle.
And see, what you're dealing with is this is a tabernacle in heaven, not pitched by man. What Aaron was doing is lesser. Again, this is showing you how Melchizedek is greater than Aaron. Go ahead.
Not made with hands, that is to say, not of this building. Neither by the blood of goats and calves, but by his own blood he entered in once into the Kadash place, having obtained
go shut that door.
Having obtained eternal redemption. For if the blood of bulls and of goats and the ashes of a heifer sprinkling the unclean, sanctified to the purifying of the flesh, how much more shall the blood of Mashiach, who through eternal Ruach offered himself without spot to Alahym,
purge
your conscience from dead works to serve the living Alahym.
So tell him what conscience means by definition. Joseph just asked about that. Oh yeah, he says it definitely does say it all. Tell him what conscience means.
Sunadesis, that's the consciousness of anything, the soul, as distinguishing between what is morally good and bad.
The soul. So in Hebrew, that would be the what? Which would be the who? The inner man. So that means the sacrifices that he doing on atonement could not make the inner man perfect. That's right. You know what I'm saying? That's what he's telling you. It can't make the inner man perfect. But the sacrifice of Mashiach, as it pertains to the priesthood of Melchizedek, to the washing of the regeneration of the word, and the receiving of the Ruach HaKadosh through faith, that can make a man perfect. And it takes you back to Adam, because Adam was made perfect as it pertains to the conscience. Adam was made perfect. He said he made man what? That man was made perfect as pertaining to the conscience. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, they don't want to hear that. Yeah, there's some rules gonna look at this here. That nigga, that man. I seen a dude made a video talking about, because they said Nate them said that Yahusha is Yahuwah. And all these Hebrew niggas done lost their mind. It's funny because it's a lot of people who believe he Yahuwah. Like, that ain't no new thing. They think that's some Trinity, modalist, oneness type stuff. So you saying he the Father and he the Most High. I ain't saying he nothing. You said it. I ain't got to say he the Most High, because I can see that clearly in the text. But is there a Most High over him? See, that's what people don't realize. He the Most High over all the earth. He didn't say he the Most High in heaven. Ain't that what it said? He said he the Most High over all the... Let me show it to you. Psalms 83 and 12.
Book chapter.
The earth is Yahuwah's and the fullness thereof, and all that dwell therein. He ain't there nothing about in heaven, baby. Listen to it.
Yeah, that's low.
Who said, "Let us take to ourselves the houses of Alahym in possession"? O my Alahym, make them like a wheel, as the stubble before the wind, as the fire burn a wood, and as the flames set the mountains on fire. So persecute them with your tempest, make them afraid with your storm.
Come on.
Fill their faces with shame, that they may seek your name, O Yahuwah. Let them be confounded and troubled forever. Let them be put to shame and perish, that men may know that you, whose name alone is Yahuwah, the Most High over all the earth.
Over all the who?
Over all the earth.
My God, today. But wouldn't Yahushua be the Most High over all the earth if he gonna rule from one end of the earth to the other? But he ain't the Most High over in heaven. Now is it? How do we know that? 1 Corinthians 15 and 22. See, you got to pay attention to what it say. He ain't the Most High. He the Most High over all the earth. He higher than all us. Did he say he made him, he anointed him with the oil of gladness above his fellows? Don't he got authority over man? Don't he got dominion over the earth? Wouldn't he be the Most High over the earth? But he ain't the Most High in heaven, though. Enthroned, I'll be greater. We talked about it last night. My God, today, yesterday, and tomorrow. Come on.
For as in Adam all die, even so Mashiach shall all be made alive.
Mm-hmm.
But every man in his own order. Mashiach the first fruits, afterwards they that are
every
Mashiachs,
man in his own what?
in his own order.
Okay.
And that are Mashiachs at his coming. Then the end, when he shall have delivered up the Malkuth to Alahym, even the Abba, when he shall have put down all rule and all authority and power.
If he delivered it up to his Abba, guess what that means his Abba was the whole time? In heaven. So that means when his Abba come on the earth, guess what that means? Now his Abba the Most High over all the earth. But right now, but I understand why people think that Yahuwah is the Father. But he's not the Father. He's not Yahushua's father. I can tell you that because Yahushua is Yahuwah, sir. I know people don't want that's Christian stuff, and Christians don't even teach that. They just say he God. They don't go into the text and really look at it and say, you know what? Some do. Like, oh, this is the same person. But it would make sense that it's the same person. I'm not talking about what people say, who was that who appeared to Abraham and Genesis. We ain't talking about that stuff like that, man. You know what I'm saying? We talking about, man, this is who this is. He told, well, this is what it basically is. Yahushua as Yahuwah told you what his father told him. And then he manifested himself in the flesh to show and prove that he is the one who his father told you about. He just happened to be telling you about himself based off what his father was telling him to tell you. That's all. It's not hard. Or like how some people like to speak in third person. Because at the end of the day, that's what he was doing. He was talking in third person. I was telling East Dad yesterday, man, your mans like to talk in third person. That's weird to me. I ain't never heard Dow speak himself in first person. Him too. I ain't never like to hear somebody talk about themselves in third person and never say I, me, or nothing. That's weird to me.
Well, that third person, like in Deuteronomy 18, he was like, I shall raise up a prophet. He's just pretty much saying what his father told him.
Yeah, remember he say, my witness is in heaven, my record is on high. So I understand it when you look at it from the aspect, Yahuwah is bearing witness, and you think, okay, it's bearing witness of this person. So it can't, because what is he praying to himself? No, he was praying to his father. You know what I'm saying?
I heard dude say that,
But he stated it.
It do. He said, how can the son come marry his father's wife? Oh, yeah, that's what Quran just mentioned in that Yahushua would have to be Yahuwah because how could the son marry his father's wife? And that's a reasonable point. No, Quran mentioned the point of that Yahushua has to be Yahuwah because how could the son marry his father's wife? You know what I'm saying? That's accurate, especially when you look at in the law, because that would be an abomination. That would be an abomination. Son can't. And that's why I told dudes, because I say, man, the father prepared a bride for his son and said, here, this is your wife. Like, nigga. Literally says you can't marry somebody unless she had a priest before. Like, I get it, though. I get it why people don't want to hear that. don't believe it, won't accept it. I understand. It's not like I'm mad about it. It's just a level of the mystery that some people will get and some people won't. I'm not mad at nobody who don't, because I think it's more so people caught up in the Trinity and all that. I don't care about any of that. We're not talking about no oneness or nothing. It's not. I mean, it's oneness if you're talking about a God, but we understand that. And I said this for years, man. Kings don't get off their throne. That's what they got servants for. The Father ain't getting off his throne and let me make the earth. Son, I gave you the instruction. Do what I told you. You know what I'm saying? Do this. Do it just like I told you, son. You know how I taught you. All right, cool. I got it. You know what I'm saying? All right, son. And that's because of something we done discussed many times before. Like, the Father is too pure, too righteous to interact with man. Man will be destroyed. You got to have an intermediary between the Father and you. You know what I'm saying? But that's because I can understand why people don't understand the power of the Almighty Father. You know what I'm saying? Like, his power is not like anything that any of us have ever experienced. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to mention Hebrews 1, but I'm going to tell you, dealing with people who have them type of conversations, you're going to have to bring more to Hebrews 1, because these boys argue this day in and day out. I ain't going to lie to you. I wouldn't even attempt to explain it to them, to be honest with you. You know what I'm saying? Because this is something that these people argue about. Like, it's many different things. They call it what? The Trinitarians, modalism, oneness, all these different stuff, binary. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what none of this stuff is. You know what I'm saying? And all of it is what they call the operation of the Godhead. You know what I'm saying? But Godhead is only used in the Greek 2 times. And it just means divine nature. It'd be a lot of stuff that people be trying to put together that ain't even need to be put together. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, you got Bruce. I remember used to see, you know the dude Jeremy that be working out now and got Jack. Yeah, I used to see him go back and forth with people all the time about how Yahushua is Yahuwah. People used to cuss this man out. You know what I'm saying? Greg, the Mexican cat, same thing. He just got into it with Shanquil about that. They were having a conversation about that. Like, that's man, there's a lot of people there, and they not going for that because they really think that you saying he the Father. He's our Father, but he has a Father. He clearly says that. You know what I'm saying? Because we can't turn around and look at John 1 and it said all things were made by him and for him, and then say that he's not Yahuwah when it say Alahym did it and Yahuwah did it. And then Isaiah saying, I spanned the heavens and laid out the curtain. Like you're going to have a problem at that point. But you know, that's another conversation for another day. It's a video we did about it. It's on Trumpets, 2023 or 20 somewhere. It definitely can't be 24 hours. 2022. Oh, I can find it. Yeah. No, it wasn't that day. That was at Stanley House. Get down. You finna fall. Good day. What's it, Ramon? Let me finish. Can I finish? What I'm doing?
How can God die?
Because he wasn't God when he's in the flesh, damn it. That's the other one. How can God die? God can't die. That's why he was the son of Adam. How else is he going to be the kinsman redeemer? That goes back to how you know he Yahuwah, because he had to be the kinsman redeemer to redeem you from death, which means it got to be God, because Adam's direct kinsman is God. Adam ain't got no natural man redeemer. Kinsman. What natural man is kinsman to Adam? He ain't got none. Read them Hosea 13 and 14. Give them the all for the definition after you read the verse. And I didn't even read the Hosea 6 where he said I cut him to pieces, chewed him to pieces with the word, and the word is sharper than the two-edged sword, dividing asunder the joints and marrow. Come on.
Say, I will ransom them from the power of the grave. I will redeem them from death. O death, I will be your plagues. O grave, I will be your destruction.
Tell him what God means, man, for redeem you from the grave.
That's to redeem, to act as a kinsman redeemer, to revenge, to ransom, to do the part of a kinsman.
To be a kinsman redeemer. Give me Genesis 1:26. It's easy work. Easy work.
And Alahym
See,
said,
hold on. See, a lot of people get frustrated because you want these people to believe your stance. You know what I'm saying? I don't care if you believe my stance, but to prove it, easy work. Easy work. It's nothing. Oh. What he did? Bust his nose? Or he spit on the floor? Oh, my boy foaming out the mouth. Check on him, boy. That ain't good. And his hands locking up.
I ain't know
Yeah. He foaming out the mouth. That's why I said his arms locking up. You might need to call him. Go ahead.
and Alahym said, let us make man in our image, after our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish of the sea.
And make man after our what?
Our likeness.
And our what else?
Let them have in our image, after our likeness. Let them have dominion over the fish of the sea and over the fowl of the air.
Genesis 2:7.
And Yahuwah Alahym formed man, the dust of the ground, and breathed into his nostrils.
So he created man, and man is in his image and likeness. Luke chapter 3, verse 31.
Which was of Malaiah, which was of Manan, which was of Matatha, which was of Nathan, which was of David, which was of Jesse, which was of Obed, which was of Booz, which was of Salmon, which was of Nason, which was of Aminadab, which was of Aram, which was of
35.
Which was of Saruk, which is of Ragal, which was of Phalek, which is of Heber, which is of Salah, which is of Canaan, which is of Arphaxad, which is of Shem.
Hey! What y'all got going on? Go ahead.
Which is of Shem, which is of Noah, which is of Lamech, which is of Methuselah, which is of Enoch, which is of Jared, which is of Malaleel, which is of Canaan, which is of Enos, which is of Seth, which is of Adam, which is of Alahym.
So who would be Alahym? Who would be Adam's kinsman redeemer? It can't be nobody after him. It can't be nobody but Yahuwah. That's it. He said, I will redeem you from the grave. It say to do the act of a kinsman redeemer. Leviticus 25:47 for those who don't know what that is. And it's one in Ruth.
And if a sojourner or stranger wax rich by you and your brother, by him wax poor and sell himself unto the stranger, or sojourner by you to the stock of the stranger's family, after that he is sold, he may be redeemed again. One of his brethren may redeem him.
One of his who?
His brethren.
Who can redeem Adam? That's the question I want to be asked. Because if Yahushua is not Yahuwah, then Yahushua can't redeem Adam, because Yahushua can't be Adam's kinsman if he's from the seed of David. He can't. Because David don't come from that. David is in his image and likeness to be the role of a kinsman redeemer. The person who's redeeming you has to be your uncle, your brother. That's how that rolls. Keep on rolling with it, man.
Either his uncle or his uncle's son may redeem him, or any that is near kin unto him of his family may redeem him. Or if he be able, he may redeem himself.
Run it back. Listen to it again.
Said either his uncle or his uncle's son may redeem him, or any that is near of kin unto him.
Any that's near of kin. Because you couldn't redeem yourself. Adam couldn't redeem himself. It said anyone near of kin. Who's Adam's near kin that could redeem him? That's right, Mika. Yeah, he okay. He okay. So you got to think about that and ponder that. I see what you say. I'm gonna be honest with you, Muna, when you're dealing with people who own that, it depends on who you're talking to. Because some people you're gonna have to prove that out the Old Testament. Some people will be cool with you being in Revelations. Some people you're gonna have to give a mix of both. I say the New Testament. Some people, but you're gonna have to give a mix of both. Because you have to be like what Paul stated. You have to be all things to all people. You can't necessarily say, well, I'm only gonna explain it like this. You know what I'm talking about? You're gonna have to hit them at where they at with it. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what he's saying in 1 Corinthians 9. Run that for me. 9 and 20. Because I know what you're saying. Because some people you could do just that. Some people you can't. So you always got to make sure, you know what I'm saying, you got enough blades and your utility knife to know how to navigate stuff. You know what I mean?
Saying unto the Yahudim I became as the Yahudim, that I might gain the Yahudim. To them that are under the law, as under the law, that I might gain them that are under the law.
Go ahead.
To them that are without law, as without law, being not without law to Alahym, but under the law to Mashiach, that I might gain them that are without law. To the weak became I as weak, that I might gain the weak. I made all things to all, that I might by all means save some.
That's what you know. So you have to pick and choose. You gotta play it by ear. You know what I'm talking about? Because a Old Testament focused person, I show it to you out the old. A New Testament person, I show it to you out the new. Somebody who deal with it in the whole totality, I give it to you on both sides of the ledger. You know what I'm saying? It all depends. But really, I don't really have conversations with people like that because I don't have the time, want, energy, or desire to be 100% honest with you. I really don't. Because I don't be really with that going back and forth. You know what I'm talking about? But yeah, man, who gonna redeem Adam? It's got to be the kinsman redeemer. How we gonna reverse that? Praise Yahuwah, man. No, because I know what she's saying. Because like with certain people, you can read Hebrews 1 and Revelation and be good. But with other people, that's not gonna work. You know what I'm saying? Because they gonna have that's not scripture. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not. You know what I'm saying? Revelation is different, but Hebrews is not scripture. That's a letter. So you're gonna have to have scripture to back up what's in that letter. You know what I'm talking about? You got to know. I done talked to too many of these niggas, so I know how they roll. You know what I'm saying? I know how they gonna combat you. You know what I'm saying? So you have to be ready, and you have to be ready to do one thing that a lot of people aren't ready to do, and that's cut the conversation short and say, "You got it, bro. I'm gone." Ruth A, what you crying about, Ruth? You always moaning. You ain't even crying. You moaning like an old lady at a funeral. Just crying for Charles. I'm gonna miss Charles. Come on, where we at?
I'm gonna go back to
Yeah. I'm talking about boy Moon, these niggas will give you a doggone aneurysm. We're in verse 20.
And when he have made an end of reconciling the Kadash and the tabernacle of the congregation and the altar, he shall bring the live goat. And Aaron shall lay both his hands upon the head of the live goat and confess over him all the iniquities of the children of Yasharal.
Oh, I know what you're saying. I'm telling you, like, them niggas still give you aneurysm. Them niggas drive you crazy out this home.
And all the transgression and all their sins, putting them upon the head of the goat, shall send away by the hand of a fit man into the wilderness.
Well, that's a fact, baby. That's a fact. Now, you dead right about that.
And the goat shall bear upon him all their iniquities unto a land not inhabited. He shall let go the goat into the wilderness.
Run me 21 again from the top.
And Aaron shall lay both his hands upon the head of the live goat and confess over him all the iniquities of the children of Yasharal, and all the transgressions and all their sins, putting them upon the head of the goat, shall send away by the hand of a fit man into the wilderness.
And the goat
shall bear upon him all their iniquities unto a land not inhabited. He shall let go the goat in the wilderness.
Now that take you back to when he said, go outside the camp with the Mashiach and bear the reproach. Go ahead.
And Aaron shall come in tabernacle of the congregation and shall put off the linen garments which he put on when he went into the Kadash, and shall leave them there. he shall wash his flesh with water in the Kadash place, put on his garments and come forth and offer his burnt offering and the burnt offering of the people and make an atonement for himself and for the
when
people.
you look at Mashiach, when he went in that grave, he when he came on earth, he put off his Kadash garments, if you would. He put them off. You know what I'm saying? And became a man and was crucified. He got washed with water when he got raised from the dead. You know what I'm talking about? Or like what somebody mentioned the other day, we didn't read it in Zechariah 3 with Yahushua son of Jehozadak with the filthy garments. And he said, let me give you a change of garments. And he said, Satan, I rebuke you. Because remember what the Lord said in John 16. Indeed. Remember what he said in John 16. The prince of this world is judged. You know what I'm talking about? Come on.
That was a correlation to each other with what you said when you said I rebuke you, Satan.
That's to the most part, because the minute he won, Satan was rebuked. You know what I'm talking about? Because you can look at him as him standing on the side trying to resist for all the things that try to stop him from fulfilling his destiny, for lack of a better word. Mm-hmm.
Like in retrospect, so
Trying to stop it from
this nigga, like, he know this is my last stand.
This is my last, because if he win, I'm done.
Yeah.
He already know that because we just read it, right? Destroy him that had power over death. What was the other one we just read? Oh, that came to destroy the works of the devil. Satan already know what Mashiach was coming to do.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, absolutely. No, I'm with you, but everybody ain't on that. See, and I know you mentioned this a lot, right, about dudes not having a ruach, but you can't have a ruach if the gospel was never preached to you. So a lot of dudes, they don't really be knowing. So when they be fighting against stuff, they be feeling like Paul, how Paul felt, like, I'm in the right. Because I never had this information. They really be ignorant. You know what I'm saying? And you got to remember, you got to have the ability to have compassion on those who are ignorant because they don't know. That's different when they know and they be on some other type of time. A lot of these people, they really don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like what we talking about right now, and Quran can tell you, because he said he done talk about some of the stuff we be talking about at the assembly in the UK where he at, and the people look at him like he crazy. Be ready to go off on him and call him all type of names. Shoot, I just had to told Judah this the other day. He told me, the just man falls 7 times. I better stop saying that. I hate when I hear niggas say that. How you righteous, but you sinning 7 times, cuz that ain't never click in your brain. That don't even make common sense. I'm a righteous man, but 7 times is not falling. That's a choice.
Right.
That's a choice. He said, I think if it's a sloppy gospel gets preached to you, you're gonna have you are, but Muna more so talk. Once you receive the Ruach, you can understand the mysteries of the word. But if the person teaching you ain't never received it, he can't open those mysteries to you that you might believe. So when you come with certain points of view and teachings of Mashiach out of the mystery, they think something wrong with you. Yeah, they think something wrong with you. And I can understand why if I was in their shoes.
Niggas look at how they look at Paul, they feel like they doing right. You ain't
gonna be able to move nobody off that. It's gonna take the Lord. Ain't nothing you can do about that. Because they believe that they are in the right. They think you the heretic. They think you the blasphemer. They think you the false prophet. The same way that they thought Paul was, the same way they thought Yahushua was. Because they didn't know. That's why he said, Kadash Abba, the world have not known you. He said, if they persecuted me, they're going to persecute you because they haven't known him who sent me. Get it for him. John 15:22. And I'm just saying that to keep that in mind because you're not wrong what you're saying. I just know that because we be out here. You know what I'm talking about? So I know how the game goes. I don't interact with people like that as much as I used to. You know, that 2015 to 27, maybe about 2017, 18, niggas was getting his work. You know what I'm talking about? Because people kept mentioning my name coming to get me to, because nobody talking about what we were talking about, and it seemed to be new to these dudes because we started entering into spaces where Bruce was at. mainly for being on Blog Talk, fooling with my man. You know, shout out to my man Sal and other stuff like that. So that's where that came from. And then after that, I kind of fell back. I'm like, yeah, I don't want to talk to these niggas. Come on.
He said, if I had not come and spoken unto them, they had not had sin, but now they have no cloak for their sin. He that hate me, hate my Abba also. If I had not done among them the works which
right here, man. Get you some black chairs,
which none other man did, they had not had sin.
What?
But now have they both seen and hated both me and my Abba. But this
he said they both hated me and my who?
And my Abba.
My God.
But that the word might be fulfilled that is written in the law, they hated me without a cause.
Hate me without a cause.
But when the comforters come, whom I will send unto you from the Abba, the rock of truth, which proceed from the Abba.
Give me John 15 and 19. Bro, you always.
He said, if you were of the world would love his own. But because you are not of the world, I have chosen you out of the world. Therefore, the world hates you. Mm-hmm. Remember the word that I said unto you: the servant is not greater than his Lord. And if they have persecuted me, they will also
persecute you also.
If they have kept my saying, they will keep yours also. But all these things will they do unto you for my name's sake, because they knew not him that sent me.
They don't know him. They don't know him. You always have to remember that. Most people don't know him at all. You know what? Hallelujah for y'all who's on the word. That's good right there. You come back. We ain't got much less in Leviticus 16. So I appreciate y'all time. I bless y'all at the house of Alahym in the name of Yahushua. Y'all willing? We'll be back at it next week. You know, prayerfully y'all understood all of these things. You know, it seemed complex, but in reality, it's really not. It's really not. It's like what Amuna just mentioned, man. It's the mystery is being unlocked. But you always have to remember, some will receive it and some won't. And that's okay. Yeah, more is not going to receive it than who's going to receive it, to be 100% real with you. But you know, so it's like. But I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. I bless you out the house of Alahym in the name of Yahushua. Yes, sir. So hold it down, baby. Amen, Joseph, man. Be safe. I love you too, brother, mother, man. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, it is what it is, you know. But that don't got nothing to do with us. You got to keep pushing and pressing on what it is that you got to do. So, yeah, bless you out the house of Alahym in the name of Yahushua. I love y'all. Appreciate y'all. You who are willing. Shalom, Sister Regina. Peace, Brother Omar. We'll be back at it. Hey, not in my living room. Y'all willing on Wednesday?
Yes, baby. Yes.
You got a prime? You got a prime?